also share it if my phone doesn't die. Is it gonna die?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast, the only live streaming face-to-face arts and entertainment podcast covering northeastern Pennsylvania, offering a true alternative voice in local media. We're coming to you from the NEPA Scene studio underneath Center City Print in downtown Scranton. I'm Rich Howells, the founder and editor of NEPA Scene. Summer Costco's behind the scenes in the producer's chair. And tonight we're here with longtime stand-up comedians Russell Austin and Angelia Petrillo, as well as up-and-coming comic Joey B. Donuts. They're joining a massive lineup of hilarious performers at Helping Hopple, a benefit show for fellow comic Dan Hopple at Voodoo Brewing in Scranton this Sunday, May 31st. So we're talking about what it's like entering the local comedy scene years ago versus now, finding and developing a comedic voice, making friends in the comedy scene, the best and maybe even worse comedy venues across Northeast PA. Russell combining jokes with music, Angelia organizing shows and open mics at venues like Heat NEPA and the Burt Norton in Wilkes-Barre that spotlight women and the LGBTQ community. Joey's consistent support of local comedians and his Instagram banana interviews. Over a decade of NEPA Scene open mic memories and much, much more. So please join our conversation with your questions and comments down below. We will get to those later in the show. So we're going to be promoting this charity event, and the only way that we're going to reach as many people as we possibly can is if you guys participate. So the more you like, comment, share, all that good stuff, it really does help us out. And so thanks for tuning in. Summer, cue the music. NEPA Scene is brought to you by Center City Print, bringing your ideas to life in 3 locations, Scranton, Kingston, and Hazleton. These one-stop shops are locally owned and operated, providing high-quality print products at affordable prices. From business cards, brochures, and banners to posters, flyers, and tickets, let their custom design solutions and exceptional customer service make your next project a reality. Use promo code NEPA Scene in person or online at centercityprint.com for 10% off.
We got you.
Duds will play guitar solos to the house machine.
Interpretive guitar.
I'll play drums.
Oh God! Stop! Ooh.
And we have only just started drinking. That tells you something. Before we get started, I just want to thank Voodoo Brewing Company in Scranton for providing us with these awesome craft beers. So we've got 2 versions of the Crick Crusher tonight.
No.
This is the brown ale spiced with cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger, which is really good.
It has a nice flavor. I like this.
Yeah, it's nice. And then the golden ale is kind of your more standard lager sort of thing. So if that's more of your thing, we'll have both of these. Of course, will be on hand among many beers available this Sunday at the Helping Hopple benefit show. But we just wanted to give them a shout out and thank you so much for these, because buying the beers for the show gets expensive. So nice to have a local brewery here that believes in this sort of thing. And I believe this also benefits, a portion of proceeds benefits French Creek Valley Conservancy. Don't know what that is, but good for them. So let's maybe start by introducing yourselves and maybe telling us how long you've been doing stand-up comedy.
Ladies
Yeah,
first.
we'll go in order.
Hi, my name's Angelia Petrillo. I've been doing comedy for almost about 9 years. I want to say with like a nice chunky gap taken out when the world was ending. Yeah. Anything else? Should I go into? I hope you guys kind of know who I am.
Yeah, we'll get into all that stuff.
And I'm Russell Austin. I'm not too sure. How long have you did the NEPA scene, Mike?
We'll be 12 years old this fall.
I think it was 5 years before I started doing the NEPA scene, Mike.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
So yeah, about around 17 maybe.
Yeah.
Damn.
That sounds about right. Actually,
Daddy.
I started performing in bars when I was 14, and I in between songs I would banter to the audience, and people would say, "Hey, you're funny. You should be a comedian." And I didn't know how to be a comedian. I didn't know about open mics until like I couldn't find a band, and I see my friends doing open mics. And that's how I made friends with more comics, and I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome."
There you go. And I mean, in that time too, I think I've lost more hair. You've gained it all. You stole it.
You should see my back.
Wait, we got a few more of these first. And then...
I'll do a dance for your audience.
You might not have an audience left after that.
They're like, "Is this a Bigfoot documentary?"
Joey, how about you?
Hello, my name is Joey. I go by Joey B Donuts on stage. I've been doing stand-up now for, I want to say, a little over a year. So I'm fairly new in the game compared to Russell and Ange. But I've been hitting up shows, hitting up mics, putting in the work, and I've been really enjoying it. And as Rich mentioned in the beginning in the intro, I do banana interviews on Instagram where I interview comedians and local talent, musicians, artists, the such. And I've recently uploaded interview number 61, and we're on the second season.
Nice.
Since the beginning of this year, and that's also been something that's taken off and gotten really popular as I've been going through this journey of stand-up comedy.
I like seeing you progress. I see it in you. I see you get better every time I see you.
Thank you, Russell. I appreciate that.
I'm serious, man.
Thank you.
As a banana, are you going to have a special episode for episode 69?
I don't know. I didn't think that far yet. It was started off as like a one-off sort of thing where I interviewed the pilot episode. I interviewed you. I interviewed Billy, Ryan P. Flaherty, Ryan Manzo, and Dan Danzy, and it was at a benefit show at the Loft in Scranton for NEPA Comedy Fest. And it was like, I'm gonna do this one thing, but then I had some people were like, "Hey, that looks fun. Can I be on that?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then it grew and grew and grew, and I started going to like festivals, and Wisecrackers Comedy Club let me interview their comics, and so many people, and I got so much opportunities and networked with a lot of comics from like Philly and New York, and it's just amazing that I didn't think I'd make it to like 61 episodes, but we're hoping for more, and maybe for 69 we'll do something exquisite.
So I figured it would be kind of a since we have so many comedians from all different backgrounds who are doing this benefit, which of course we're going to get into all the details and everything. That it would be fun to have some more experienced comedians and somebody who's kind of newer to the scene, who's kind of breaking in, but putting in the work, like you said. And I noticed that, and I appreciate that. Let me ask, maybe, when do you think your sense of humor started kind of developing? Maybe what influenced you maybe early on, your sense of humor in general?
Tragedy, right? I mean, what else? I think that I hate to just sound redundant, but I do think I've always been naturally funny or naturally playful, making fun of things. And I think I've gotten feedback or praise for that, and which was scarce. So it's like, ooh, how do I get more of this, and then it also is just like a lovely coping mechanism. It makes life better. Yeah. I think. So yeah, I always wanted to, I used to cry to my parents when I was younger. Do you remember those commercials for All That? When they would be like, do you want to audition for like All That? And they would show like these contestants like carrying big TVs that were fake or like whatever, and like doing, and I'd be like, please let me audition, please. And they did it at Montage Mountain once, before like a Backstreet Boys concert, and I was gonna go, and then I called mom a bitch, and they said I couldn't go. So I could be on SNL by now, but it has always been something that I like to do, and I've always kind of had a knack for it. And I will say also, it's probably the only time I feel most myself is when I'm being funny or when I'm performing stand-up. So yeah, it was just something that I kind of, it's a gift, and I just honed it. Yeah.
What was the question again?
I also forgot the question while I was answering.
When do you, or where do you think your sense of humor kind of began developing, and like what influenced maybe your humor early on? Like I grew up on like Monty Python, for example, like that sort of
influence. Yes.
That really pushed me.
I was very influenced by stuff like Laurel and Hardy, the Three Stooges, and the Marx Brothers. The Marx Brothers really like influenced me to be like a physical comedian, and like the Three Stooges too. They're slapping each other. Like I want to get off stage. I want to be interesting. I don't want to just be funny. I want to be interesting too.
Well, for me, like when I first started, I would hang out with like friends, and I would just crack some one-liners every now and then, and it would be the most outrageous thing, like just out of left field stuff, and like people are like, "That's really funny," and then my one friend, he was like, "You should do stand-up comedy," and I was like, "Oh, well, I never really thought of it," and I've watched like stand-up comedy like at Wisecrackers, and I saw Gabriel Iglesias at the arena a couple years back, and I was like interested in stand-up, but I was like never thought I would like actually pursue it. But then like my friend he went through on Facebook and like searched up open mics, and one of the mics that came up was a mic at Abide Coffee House in Wilkes-Barre, the one that Ryan P. Flaherty runs, and he was like, "Oh, I found one," and I looked at it, and I was like, "We can make it work." And I showed up 2 hours early, and like Ryan just got there and was setting up. And this was like the first time we met, so we didn't know each other. And like he was all like, "Oh, like you're here for the open mic?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I introduced myself, and I was going at the time as Joey Bag of Donuts. I was using my full legal name. And he was like, "That's the best stand-up name I've ever heard since doing this." But like, and I went to that mic, and it was just like a rush. And I mean, looking back at it now, like since I've been doing this for a while, it wasn't the greatest set in the world, but like I did what most people wouldn't do, and that's go up and perform. And it's like, and through going to that mic, I found out about other mics. Like I found out about the V Spot, and I found out about Heat, and I found out about Pep's Pub down in not Lancaster, Pottsville. Yeah. And I found out about all these amazing mics and met good people and people who liked me for who I was, and I didn't have to put on like a facade and like be fake. And I just enjoy like doing stand up, and it's all I think about. Like if I'm having a shitty day at work, like and there's like an open mic or a show opportunity, it's like that. I think about that, and I think about what the next joke is gonna be, or like how I can work on my like stand up routine, and that's really what gets me through my day is doing stand up comedy. I love doing it.
Right on, dude.
That's so nice. I miss that. That early feeling.
What made you go with the name Joey B Donuts now, but Joey Bag of Donuts at the time?
So when I first started, I used to work in a kitchen at a nursing home, and my manager, his name was Zach. He was a really cool dude. And he used to call me Joey Bag of Donuts. And that's what he called me. He'd be like, "Yo, Joey Bag of Donuts, what's going on?" And he would say it just like that. And when my friend who found out about Abide, he said, don't use your real name. Use Joey Bag of Donuts. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to use my real name because I want to be serious with you. He goes, no, use Joey Bag of Donuts. It's funnier. And I said, okay. And I went by that for some time. Then I thought that's like a mouthful for someone to say, especially at a show. So I just removed the bag of, and I was just Joey Donuts for some time. And there was these two ladies who saw me at an open mic, and they saw me, and I was like at Walmart or something. And they were like, hey, we loved your stand-up, but like, you know, we missed the bag of. Because I was going by Joey Donuts, and I was like, yeah, I shortened it a little bit. And then I went to dinner with my mom, and I was talking about the moment. She goes, why don't you just have B? And I was like, that's a good idea. Like, I was thinking, like, you know, like the Chuck Berry song, like Johnny Be Good. Like, that's what I was thinking of, and I was like, I could be like that, except I'm Joey B. Donuts, and that's what I've been since.
Yet you dress like a banana. You're such an enigma.
Missing opportunities here.
Yeah. Maybe that's what the B stands for.
Ooh, could be.
Joey Banana Donuts.
Yeah, so in the comments, what is your guess as to what the B actually stands for?
Ooh.
Yeah. Put your guesses in. We will address them later on in the show. So obviously, you guys have all kind of come into the scene, the local comedy scene, or however you want to put it in general, at different times. So I kind of wanted to see if it's any different now, if anything's changed, if things have kind of stayed the same over the years. I guess so. What was your experience like, kind of coming into the scene and discovering there was one? You know, for me, it was very much when I started the open mic, I knew that there were local comedians out there. I had talked to some, I had interviewed some at my previous job, but I wasn't aware that there were so many until the open mic. And then all you guys kind of started showing up, and I was like, wow, there really is like a scene just for this. It isn't just the music scene. So like, maybe how did you guys kind of discover it and kind of enter it and see how your stories compare?
The same way you found us, because
yeah,
you hear open mic and every comedian's like, what? Okay. With stage time? Yes, stage time. So we all gathered together. And that's how we all became friends.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think the scene is definitely growing. And like I dip my toe in pockets across Pennsylvania. Like if I'm in the area, like I work in Bethlehem, so I dip my toe in there more lately just because I'm working down there. But I see that scene growing too. Like it seems there's pockets growing everywhere. I see like comedy clubs being put up everywhere now. I'm trying to think what comedy club is popping up like around me. I can't think of the club name now. But I just see like more advertisements in the area. I have
there's more
reaching
venues
out.
I think
Yeah.
trying it out too. I've seen more venues that probably wouldn't normally host a comedy show, like giving it a shot here and there to see how it works.
Yeah, recently, there's not much of a scene in Jim Thorpe, but like now people are like reaching out to me because they know I do stuff. So I'm gonna try to bring my friends on. Ange has been to one of my Jim Thorpe shows.
Sure have.
Yeah, so like, we're trying to. If anyone reaches out to me, yeah, I'll do a show.
It's just that easy.
Yeah, give me a time, place, and we'll meet.
I think there are a lot of ebbs and flows in the comedy scene. So I think that you'll see kind of like a territory really gain a lot of traction and have this like bubble where they are like getting a lot of comedians traveling to them or being able to have shows. And then I noticed that kind of like it waxes and wanes based on, you know, like a lot of us comedians that are local or regional, like we all have day jobs and lives, you know. Unfortunately, we can't just be comedians. So I think like, you know, you have people who run things and they get tired. You have people who are used to headlining and then are not going to show up and do the work anymore. And then they're going to, you know, get dropped on the totem pole. So I think that just like humans, I think in being in the scene for as long as I have, I've seen like almost the same patterns just like come and go and like flow. which is nice and also horrifying when you think about it, because, you know, you do always want it to be like one united front in a way, because I feel like that's like the main way that we can get somewhere. But same as Russell, I mean, like, I really got into the scene from NEPA scene. Honestly, I didn't really know that there were mics or like a circulation of mics that were happening all the time until I got into NEPA scene. I had a friend that convinced me to do comedy at Girls Night when Jess Meone was running it. It was like a year quarterly, maybe every other month showcase at El Mary's, RIP. And I got into it that way. And then when Pamela Hill was still running the Big A Story Slam, she had invited me on.
Those are good.
Those are really
Yeah, you can find me there June 20th at this one.
Oh, awesome.
Still trekking. And did comedy from there. And then from there I met Chelsea, who used to run the mics down at some gallery that was like on the corner of Adams or Lackawanna or something.
I think that's where I met you.
Yes. And so she had me feature there, and then that's where I met you, Brian, Eric, all those people. Yeah. And then from there, they told me about NEPA scene. I remember the first time I showed up, I was so scared. And it was really the first time I ever like realized like, oh, like I like this. Like I want to do this. I want more of it. Yeah. So thank you, Rich.
I remember complimenting you how good you were. The first time I saw you, I'm like, wow, she's awesome.
I know, it sucks to just start at the top, you know what I'm saying? I never had to scratch and claw my way up like Joey B. Donuts. I just fall all the way down to the bottom, and that's where I am right now.
And I think I was telling you about the open mics. Hey, come hang out with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny you say that too, because I remember very early on in like the first couple of mics that we did. Now, I had never hosted anything like that before, and it was kind of an idea that somebody had brought up to me, and the offer was out there to like put NEPA Scene's name on it. And at that point, NEPA Scene was really brand new as a website, so I wanted to get the name out there, and I also had always heard a lot of feedback from local artists of all kinds that we need more open mics. So I figured, oh, this is great. Like we'll work the whole way around, and we'll try to put our own spin on it. You know, take pictures and videos, and obviously later we started doing live streams and things too. But I remember one of the earliest ones that we did, and it was one of those, you know, like any open mic where you have I don't honestly remember what exactly it was, but like I don't know if somebody was arguing with somebody or something like that, and Russell had said to me something to the effect of, and I didn't really know you very well at that point, you suck at this, you need to get better.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like me.
It doesn't sound like you, but you definitely said something to the effect of like, you need to get better at being a host, or like being able to control the room. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that.
Like yeah, that doesn't sound in there. That was probably someone else. No,
I swear.
I would never say you suck.
Well, I don't know if you said the word suck, but it was definitely like you need to like kind of figure this out or like get better at it.
I can see me. I can see me saying.
That I was like, all right, yeah, I definitely do need to, and I hope that I have.
Yeah, you definitely have.
Like, yeah,
you definitely earn the respect of the scene, and thank you for everything you do for us.
I appreciate that.
Because I was in Allentown one time, and someone recognized me, and it was real early in NEPA scene, and they quoted one of my jokes. I'm like, how'd you hear about it? And they were like, oh, NEPA scene. It was like some Allentown punk rock show. Some random kid recognized me.
Yeah, I'm always amazed about how many people watch those live streams. I wish more people would interact with them. Hint, hint. So that I know that you're doing that, or that you're enjoying it, or whatever.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of people who just kind of secretly watch it, and they never like, they never comment, they never share. But that, whatever, it is what it is.
Roast me, I'm asking for it. Comment.
But yeah, definitely interact with the streams, and let us know, like, you know, what you think and what you like and don't like and all that kind of stuff. You know, nicely, please. You know, I know the internet's not good with that, but you know, be generally nice. So did you find people like were like cool and accommodating and whatever at first, or was it more of a competitive thing? Because that's what I hear from the musicians too. You know, a lot of times they will get into the scene and they meet people who are like, okay, this person's my new best friend, and then the next person they meet is like, a total dick who makes them want to quit.
You know what?
like,
From
is
coming
that-
from a music scene, like I'm a musician,
right.
it feels a lot like a punk rock scene because like it's very welcoming. Oh, you're into this too? Come hang out with me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not cliquey. If I see you doing comedy, I want to hang out with you. You know, I
Yeah.
like to get to know who's in the scene. You know, I like to make friends. Maybe I could help you get a show. You know,
Right.
I'm not
everybody
just
should
in
be.
it for me. You know, I'm just like I like the art of comedy. I like making people laugh, and I like to interact with people and get to know people and see what their process of writing and see what they put out. And it's really cool to see that there's that many people in this area.
Joey, did you find it pretty welcoming when you got into it?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some moments where I've had some issues with like other comics, but it taught me a very valuable lesson, and that is other people see your success before you do. And that scares, especially a lot of people who've been doing it for a long time and they're not getting guest spots or opportunities like I was getting starting off. And I've had people be like, "Oh, you're doing a show almost every weekend and you're getting on all these shows," and it's like, "How do you do it?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not really that hard. I mean, you just have to be supportive." And one thing stand up has taught me is how to treat people. And pretty much everywhere I go, whether it's a mic or a show, whether it's my first time there, my 50th time there, I treat everybody like gold. Like when I go to the V spot, I'll say hi to you, shake your hand, have a conversation. Same thing, like whoever's like there, I'll talk to the bartender, you know, even because sometimes there's moments where like they're the only one like listening to my set.
Yeah,
And then
I
like
feel
you
that.
get off stage and you're getting ready to pay your tab, and then the bartender will be like, "Oh, your set was really good. I thought you were funny." And that's how it was when I first started off. And then now I get off and I have like a couple people, you know, like a little bit more than that. Nothing crazy, but it's like that's one thing I've learned is like treat everybody the way you would want to be treated. Golden rule.
Yeah, sometimes newer comics will ask me some advice, and I'll say like I did a show in Allentown. Someone asked me, "How do you get booked shows?" And he was like very new. I go, you know what? You gotta conduct yourself like you're running for president. Just gotta be nice to shake hands, just greet people. Because to like get booked, it's like winning votes. Like people, you want to be the people's people. You know?
Absolutely.
I always try, my philosophy with the open mics especially is everybody's on the same level. You'll have people come in and it's like, this guy's been a guitarist for 20 years and he's incredible and he, you know, knows it like the back of his hand. And then you have somebody else who's like physically shaking because they're, you know, haven't really done this before, and
We all been there.
put them all on the same level and treat them all the same way. You know, I'm not going to stand there and worship this guy. I'm going to tell him he was great or whatever else, but I'm also going to tell that other person, hey, you did really well tonight. Like you really, you know, I could tell that this was a lot for you to get up there and to do this. And I think that puts people at ease too, is, you know, keeping everybody on that same level and not kind of elevate one person over everybody else or that sort of stuff.
I like seeing the process. You might see that shaky person once, and then like you might not see him for like 6 months, and then you see him again. And you're like, whoa, they definitely improved. I'm sure you see that a lot.
All the time. And I find that kind of the most rewarding part of it, to be able to watch somebody get better each time and, you know, take the feedback from people and realize, oh, maybe that, because there's some people who are very kind of stuck in their ways and they're like, no, I think this is a good joke. And they've told it 100 times and not one person's laughed, but they're just going to keep telling that joke. Other people are like, you know what? That's not a good joke. I'm going to throw that away and I'm going to try something else. And those people are the ones who are going to grow and they're going to get better. The people who keep like doubling and tripling down, no, this is good.
And no one's laughing.
It's like, come on, man. This is like the 20th time you tried this. Maybe like, let's move on, whatever. Like,
Try to get in a year. Give it a year.
yeah, right. You know, I think the best ones learn from audience feedback. And
Yeah, exactly,
they
yeah.
understand.
You have to know how to read the room. That's like a huge
Yes.
thing. I feel a lot of times when comics, new or old, are unsuccessful or are having a hard time, I find that it's a lot of the times because they don't know how to adjust to the room that they're in. And that's not all the time. But that's like a huge thing of being, of knowing, like doing a show at the V Spot where everyone is talking and laughing and drinking is a lot different than doing a mic at Abide.
Yep.
Or doing a show at a bar, or doing a show at the Little Theater of Wilkes-Barre. Like everything, like you need to adjust. And I think that's something that kind of is intuitive too. So I think a lot of the times that does like you can learn it, but that's also kind of intuitive for people, right? So I think along like with what you were saying with changing the jokes, it's also like how can you adapt to your environment? Because just like Charles Darwin or whatever, right? Like if you're gonna adapt, you're gonna survive. So
right. You gotta look at that audience and be like, okay, in the back of my mind, maybe this joke is probably not gonna land with this group of people. So maybe try some. You know,
I've done shows at like American Legions, which is like a bunch of old vets. Like, do you think I'm gonna like talk about? You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not whipping out any of the goodies for that. So you gotta.
I once performed to 4 cops, and like they were the only ones that showed up. It must have been their shift ended.
You weren't in jail?
No. And they were the best audience. Those 4 cops were great. Like they were good laughers. They laughed at everything. It was great. Like, but it scared. It threw me off. I'm like, oh, this isn't regular audience. They have badges. They were in uniform too.
And that actually, what you're saying kind of leads me into my next thought was, you know, I think every good comedian kind of has their own voice, their own kind of distinct personality and perspective and way of telling jokes and handling the audience, and they need to. How do you think you kind of found that voice and developed that, you know, over time?
Practice, honestly. In addition to like being okay with being authentic, like in order to do comedy also and succeed, I think you have to be able to be your authentic self and not trying to like copy or you know do like, you know what I'm trying to say, like be anyone else, for example. I think that's huge.
Yeah, it kind of comes from your gut, like from being on stage like so many times, you just like kind of feel it, and you just like the gloves come off. This is who I am. Just go right at it, you know?
Yes.
This is me. This is me. I'm throwing it right at it. And I'm very high energy, I guess, coming from the punk rock background. I want to win your attention and notice me because I'm talking about something.
And I think also to build on what Russell is saying also, no, I had a brain fart. No.
It'll come back to you.
I know it will. All right, go.
Joey?
I think that when it comes to finding your voice, I found mine naturally just talking with other comics off stage. And like, because I struggled to find my voice when I first started. And it's, you know, because you try stuff, and then if you're new, especially, some people are like, I don't know about this guy. But then I remember I was at a show one time. It was at Porky's in Troop. And after the show, we were all, a bunch of us, like comics, were sitting outside, smoking, bullshitting, all that. And I was just like riffing to some stuff. And I was just telling some jokes here and there, like stuff I was thinking like on the fly. And then I've had a lot of people say like, that's what you need to do when you're like on stage. Because like you actually like, you had us like leaning in, like listening. And that's what you need. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. And I started doing more of that, and people were like laughing and like really like listening in. And I was like, this is kind of working. Maybe I should do more of that. And that's what I do like in my writing and when I'm up on stage performing.
Yeah, it's that authenticity. Like I'm way more of a storyteller, and I think a lot of the times I think that sometimes like I need to have one-liners, or I need to be political or talk about a current event or whatever. And a lot of the times when I do try to change to like mold that, I don't do so well. And it's like, oh, okay, like no, like you can be who you are and be silly. And what I was gonna say before about practicing and adding on top of Russell, like when you do it more. I had someone come up to me the other day and was like, yo, you had a tight set at that mic. And I was like, what? Like, get out of here. And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh, like from when they've been seeing me, like I have been doing comedy weekly or more than that, right? Like I have been, the past couple months I've had shows, usually like 3 out of 4 of the weekends a month. And that's like way more than I've had in years. So just getting on stage and doing your jokes, what happens is like the connections in your brain start to form where now joke A could be connected to joke D or joke E or joke F. And like you have all these pathways of, the audience is going to say that, well, I can just add it into this. And your brain starts working quicker. And so when you almost have that comedy brain and you're doing it more often and you're getting up to the mics and you're doing the shows, or even if you're bombing and you're learning something from that, it's kind of giving you the feedback of like, okay, like yes, like it, I don't know, it helps, I think. So practice for sure.
Yeah, and getting up gets the gears turning and you start coming up with more stuff.
Yeah. Like if you don't have shows, go to a mic. And I should not be taught, but like, yes, it's what I am my worst self when I am not doing comedy at all, you know? So
Yeah, I feel like I'm the most happiest when I've had a few gigs in
yeah.
a month. I'm like, oh, I got my fill, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not stressed about anything. I just kind of relax, you know? You got your stage time, you feel better.
Pay attention to us.
I mean, that's what it's all really about, deep down,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I would love. Please come and kiss my forehead every night, and I won't tell any jokes. I still will, but I'll be much more tolerable.
You know, Joey, one of the things that I've noticed that you've been doing and kind of developing that I think is you know, kind of fun and interesting is you've taken some of these jokes that I think you've told maybe separately over time or whatever, and kind of put it into this bit where you're almost kind of playing really dumb. Like, I'm this big dumb guy and I have no clue about anything. So let me play into that with, like, you know, drinking the Barbasol and like
I
doing
love
the stupid
that. Stop.
like that kind of stuff.
The blue Gatorade.
Stop! Don't ruin it for them! Don't ruin it for them! The amount that I laugh at Joey now versus when you did start doing comedy, like when you first, it was the same thing. I was like, who is this kid? Like, whatever. But like now I'm just like, this kid is so off the fucking wall. Like, I'll be pissing my pants like with the shit he comes out with because he's being authentic also. Like,
right.
I'm
And it comes across.
sure he sat and thought about drinking that blue fucking Gatorade. Like, it's
What's funny is at the one night at the V Spot, this guy Red, he's been to a couple mics before. He's a cool guy. He used to be a barber, and the one night at the V Spot, he brought me a bottle of Barbasol and was like, "Here, this is for you. Don't drink it because it's real." And it'll put a hole in your stomach. And I was like, I wasn't going to do that. But then I have it on my desk and I stare at it sometimes. I'm like, should I drink you?
the call of the void.
But no, I wouldn't do that because it's actual barbicide.
But it kind of like ties in with some of the, you know, like your fast food jokes that go through like the drive-through and stuff like that. It just kind of plays into this like, you know, big dumb guy sort of character, which I think is great. It's really funny. I
like to joke about fast food a lot.
Yeah.
You know about the McDonald's points, Rich.
Well, we all know about
everybody
the
knows.
McDonald's.
I'm pretty sure everybody on this stream, well, most people, at least comics on this stream, know that I have 150,000 McDonald's points. And
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I want to see it right now because, like, I've been laughing about it for like
He's
the
got
joke,
receipts.
but I do want to see. And what can you get from that?
Well,
Wasn't Pepsi offering someone a plane at one point?
Pepsi points, yeah. It was, I don't know how many Pepsi points, but that guy actually sued.
I know.
Yeah, here's a proof.
No, that's a screenshot. Open the real app.
No, it's a real.
Let me see.
It's a real deal. It's a screenshot. I don't have the McDonald's app on my phone, but I just.
Wait, is that real?
Yes, it
Grimace?
is.
Wait, you didn't make that up?
No. It's real.
I haven't eaten McDonald's in 15 years, and I'm about to go get a fucking Big Mac and a night with Grimace.
And he can't say no to anything.
That's
No,
insane.
he can't.
No, you can't. Anything for a night with Grimace.
You're like 20th of the way there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Help this kid.
Yeah. If you ever see me at a comedy show, like, I don't want tips. I just want McDonald's points.
Oh,
Give him film it?
give people, give them your receipts.
Yes.
Oh.
Give
I don't want your money. I want your receipts so I can get a night with Grimace and take him to the Burlington Throat Factory.
I'm vegan, but I learned that from my girlfriend because she finds receipts on the ground and she gets her points that way.
Oh my!
Your
At a
girlfriend.
casino, they're called a flea.
Your girlfriend is silver mining for McDonald's points. This fucking guy.
Sorry, Jen, I called you out.
Listen, get what you can get when you can get it. You know what I'm saying?
And she has such a happy look at, woo, look at this.
So, what have been some of your maybe ideal venues for comedy over the years, and you know, ones that maybe have worked, maybe ones that you know haven't worked? What are some, you know? Let's talk venues, because that's always a big topic with a lot of people we interview on this show.
Yeah.
Especially with the music scene, because like you said, there's, you know, ebbs and flows. There's ebbs and flows with them too, and a lot of that is really controlled around the venues.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if a bunch of venues are opening up doing stuff, then everybody's happy. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Usually
All
it
of them
depends.
close at once.
Usually it depends who's running it.
Yeah.
But I love theaters. I love like the feel of a theater. I like seeing people in seats. But I also I kind of love it all. I love bar shows because you never know what's going to happen. Like you could be telling a joke and someone be in the back just vomiting all over the bar, and you have to address it somehow.
Yep.
It's just. But in a theater, you don't get that. In a theater, they're sitting there, they're going to pay attention. In a comedy club, they're sitting there paying attention. And that's why I love bar shows, because you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get some heckler that you're going to make cry.
In terms of venues, I want to give a shout out to the OG venue, RIP the Keys.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Love the Keys. And shout out to Jen, who is at Voodoo Brewing now and is
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to see her?
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll be talking about that.
Yeah.
But yes.
So it's a little bit of a reunion
In a
this
lot of
Sunday.
ways.
Yes, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But the Keys was just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
They had a mic there every Thursday. The food was great. The food specials were affordable. You can go there and get a burger for $5.
Yep.
This was pre-pandemic, before chicken wings were like $7.50 each. But Jen was also incredible. She had so much faith in us in terms of comedy. She let me do whatever crazy fucking show I pulled out of my asshole.
Yeah.
The shows that we did there were insane. And to the fact where people started asking, like, when is comedy? They would start knowing that comedy's going to be the last Friday of every month. We were getting comics from
Texas, California,
yeah,
the shows I was producing.
Yeah, we had Olivia Grace from Roast Battle.
Oh, yeah,
also.
that's right.
We had
that was a good show.
Yes, we had. Oh man, I forget his freaking name, but if I find it, I'll link it. But some guy who's on Netflix now, who is from Staten Island. Oh my god, he was so fucking funny, and I forget his name. Peter Ravello. We had Peter Ravello on there pretty early, and then just like we had a great regional relationship with a lot of the other comedians. So like in Allentown and Bethlehem, up in Binghamton, Cortland, Buffalo,
nice
etc. Yeah, like we had a really nice symbiotic relationship, and that was just like a really great time. And unfortunately, that is gone.
But we'll build something.
But yeah, I love a niche little like venue that like allows you to experiment. I really like I love like a theater as well and a bar, but like there's something about a smaller controlled environment that you can control the vibe and like have that intimate show at 50 or less people. I like that. I like getting personal. The Burnt Norton, where I hold my shows now, is a great place for that. Great food, women owned, LGBTQIA plus owned.
Awesome.
We're having Madeline Murphy come June 6th before her special airs on Apple TV on June 9th, so you can get out to see that. Boozy Bees, where I used to do shows, was also like that. Like, yeah, I love a cute little
That was fun.
I know. R.I.P. Boozy Bees, also women owned. If you're a woman owned business out there and you want to host a show, comment on this feed, DM me, kiss me on the forehead. I'm ready to go.
For me, I enjoy the shows that are like in the middle of nowhere, like those far off places. like earlier I was talking about there's a place outside of Pottsville in Port Carbon called Pep's Pub, and Sarah Cartwright hosted them like their Lager Laughs. It was every Friday, and that was just like a diamond in the rough because that was just such a fun room. Like it was a smoky bar room, like. You know, there was just comics from all over. Like they had comics come up from like Maryland and the Harrisburg area,
and
Philly.
Literally a diamond in the rough though, because you had to walk over cut glass for 2 blocks before you got into the venue. So
Yeah,
it had a show vibe because it didn't feel like an open mic. You felt like you did a show because like there were people at the bar like kind of paying attention. They're drinking, but you're so close to the bar, so they can't help but look at you.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like that mic is no more. Like rest in peace. That was my favorite mic that I did. Like that was one I hit like consistently every Friday. I made the hour drive from like where I live in Pittston all the way down to Port Carbon to go to this mic, and every Friday. And another example, there was an open mic one time at the Angelia Theater Complex, which is like outside of Tamaqua, and that was also a fun room because it's like a movie theater. And they would have an open mic, but there was people who were there to see, and it was, again, another one run like a show. It didn't feel like a mic. And that one, like, there was people who were there to see a comedy show, like, they were paying attention, and they were, like, they enjoyed, like, being there, and that was really fun. And even, I just did a show recently, this past Friday, up in Honesdale at Runaway Train Brewing, which is another example of, like, you know, middle of nowhere. And the guy who runs it, Mike Parenti, he's a really cool guy. I did a show with him before up that way, and he's kind of in his own little world because it's hard to do like those shows where you don't have as much reach like you do here in Scranton or like in Lehigh or up in Binghamton. But it's like it's working for him because he has the support of the community, and that's like the main thing. Like he's just trying to give the community some entertainment, like something different from like music or like other art forms. And I just think like those shows, like every show I've done, like whether it was at Peps or like the show I did this past weekend, I've just had just such a fun time because the people there are very interesting, and like it's some of the most interesting people, and it's like a melting pot, and it's just a lot of good memories. And like I just love those shows, like in like McFarmland, USA, to put it. I just love those kind of shows.
I noticed like if you do a show in like a small town, like the people in the town will come to that show because you're the only game in town.
Right, they probably appreciate it a lot.
You make a good flyer in a town that never has comedy, you're gonna get some people to come out and see it.
Right. Well, you know, the keys we want to talk about a little bit because of kind of the connection here with the show. So obviously, Jen Skalski, who used to run the keys, now is a bartender at Voodoo Brewing. So with a lot of the people there, including Dan, who used to hang out there, and all the comedians that were a part of that community, as well as a lot of the musicians that were part of that community. I mean, Duds was there all the time. He was in a band, E57, that used to play there all the time. They were kind of like the house band.
I'm about to bring them up on Spotify for the ride home, actually.
Yeah, totally.
Shout out to E57.
So he's got a new project
with them.
Yeah.
He's got a new kind of instrumental project that's pretty cool.
He was also the Burnt Orange. Yeah.
So they're gonna be one of the bands playing. Ibes is gonna play as well. A great like pop punk sort of band, the kind of band that I think would have played at the Keys. And Squid Sterling, who we all know is a local pro wrestler who's also a musician. He's also getting his stuff out there as well. So we were going to have wrestling, and I want to address that as well. We're going to have some no-ring pro wrestling from Smash Master Wrestling, but I was just informed literally last night that Smash Master is unfortunately no more.
Oh,
listen, I got a kiddie
I was
pool.
so excited to see that.
I got a kiddie pool. Should we bring some wrestling?
So
you can body slam me.
Thank you, Russell. That's the response I want. Like, do you see that?
Yes. My offer to you,
Shame.
the people. I feel bad that we've been advertising it. We can't deliver that this Sunday. So I promise, if you come with the steel chair, you can hit Russell with it.
And I'll laugh just as hard.
And if you come with a steel banana, I won't tell you what you can do with it, but Joey's involved.
I'm gonna be putting the ass in potassium.
But we're gonna try and bring that Keys vibe, I guess you could say, back just for at least a night, because we all kind of used to hang out there and come in and out and perform and do shows and all that kind of stuff. So with Jen being there, I know she really wants to do that, and she's gonna be making some pasta as well. So we'll have pasta dinners available for $15 extra. So if you want to eat there, or if you just want to take it to go, you could do that as well. So and that's this Sunday from 4 to 8. So we'll have the bands playing in between, and the comedians will kind of get like a little, basically an hour each, where we're gonna have half the lineup and then half the other half. So I should mention who is in that lineup, because we got quite a few here. Let's see. We have Russell Austin, John Bubble, Joey B. Donuts, Elliot, Ryan P.
Nice.
Flattery, Billy Craze, Ryan Manzo, Trisha Marie, Angelia Petrillo, and Sean Wheeler. So, we got a full lineup of acts. There might even be a couple extra people from PA Comedy Troupe as well, because Billy and Sean are part of that. So, I just kind of put them on the flyer with PA Comedy Troupe, but they also have a couple other members that might stop by, tell a couple jokes as well. So, keep it interesting. So, yeah, lots of really good stuff. And then, Duds, Ives, and Squid Sterling as well. Oh, and basket raffles. We'll have plenty of basket raffles. So if you want to throw in from that, we got some great donations from some local businesses. So watch our social media channels. We'll be posting those over the next couple of days to let you know what we got. And that
Is
sort
it
of
too
thing.
late for someone to donate a basket?
It is not too late.
Wonderful.
Yes. So if you would like to donate, if you're watching and you're interested, you can send me a message, or my wife Tanya, or Jen at the Keys, or even Angelia here, and we'll pick it up. We'll figure it out. We'll get it. We'll get it from you. We want to make sure we do that as well. So, let's get into also Dan. We want to talk about Dan a little bit. Dan was one of the first comedians that I met. He was at one of the first, if not the first, NEPA scene open mic that we did back when we were doing at the Woodlands for a little bit. And he was so funny that and he had such a good personality for it that when we ended up doing a showcase show there, and it was kind of like a proof of that local artists could draw, was really the idea of it.
I remember that.
So we had done at the time the format that they had pitched us that they wanted to do, that we kind of carried over for a while until it just kind of became a more standard open mic, I guess. Was we had kind of a talent contest sort of aspect to it, where people could vote at the end of the night for whoever their favorite act was, and they would win $50 cash. And at that point, we hadn't done a showcase or anything like that yet. So the idea was, let's take all the people who've been voted, the best for the last, 12, 13 weeks, whatever we did, and put them on a show together and do it at the Woodlands in the ballroom. So we did that, and we were told by the management there, and I would say this if they were still open, by the way, but now that they're closed, I guess we could talk all the shit we want on them.
Here we go.
Can I say that? Can
Here
I
we
say
go.
that
But,
on here?
Let's get into
I
the
said
meat.
it first.
So yeah, so here's I'll tell you the whole meat and potatoes about the Woodlands. So when I got there, it was because I knew the guy who was doing the marketing, the director there, and so he was securing us all the money and all that kind of stuff, and so we said, let's do this showcase show, and the owner was like, you need a national headliner. You need somebody from out of the area to come in. And I said, so we're going to do a local talent showcase where somebody from New York or New Jersey or whatever else is going to be the headliner. Is that the message we want to give? That all these people are not good enough, that they need a bigger headliner from somewhere else to draw? Like, I don't think that makes any sense. And I said the other aspect is they're all going to have friends and family who are going to want to come and things like that. But, you know, why would we bring somebody from out of the area that we even probably have to pay more money because, you know, they got gas and whatever else and that sort of thing, who we don't know because we don't have the money to like pull in a big name. So we're going to pay somebody that most people aren't going to know who they are anyway. How is that a fucking draw? Like, none of that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, now I know why they're fucking closed because they have no fucking clue how to run the business at all. So it was like, well, we're just going to do it the way we want to do it. And if it bombs and it sucks or whatever, then whatever. We'll owe you the money, but whatever the case is. So, and this was only a few months in NEPA scene. So we were just starting to kind of gain a following and just getting out there. So that was a risk as well. And we had 100 people show up and pay fucking money at the door, $10, 100 people, probably a little over 100. Pay at the door to see a whole lineup of local comedians and musicians and poets and things like that, and it went great. And so Dan Hoppel was the host because at that point I was like, not doing this, you know, like I can get people on and off stage or whatever, but this whole ballroom full of people or whatever, I'm not comfortable kind of doing that. And he really had the personality for that sort of thing.
That, yeah.
So Dan was the host and he fucking killed it. He was so good at it. And he was relatively new to all this too, you know? So
yeah, I remember he just like, I met him at like Wisecrackers at like his first like open mic. And when I saw him, I'm like, wow, like I'm thinking like, what, this guy's good. And then going up and speaking to him, he's like, oh, what, me? That's my first time. I'm like, what? Get out of here.
That's the thing is like, yeah, I found he was just really good very early on.
He's natural. He had like he has something natural about him. And my favorite thing is watching him shut down hecklers.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, Dan can annihilate a crowd. Like,
Yes.
you better not open your fucking mouth while he's on stage because you're done. You're done.
He's smart, he's quick, and he's clever. Like he could, like he's like a sniper. Like, oh, there's the target.
Yeah, and anything you're gonna say about him, he's already ready to slice that down. Also, yeah,
Right.
That's why I miss doing shows. Get better, Dan. I want to do more shows with you if you're watching.
Yeah, I
miss you,
hope
buddy.
he is. Well, I guess we'll find out later on.
He was earlier.
He was?
Yeah. I don't know if he's still watching.
But yeah,
Need to tell his Twitch followers that we're live on Facebook, etc.
Yeah, he's got a whole little following from that. So,
Yeah.
long story short, you know, Dan has he almost won the contest the one time that we did it too. I think he came in second, but not that any of that matters per se. But he was always, you know, then he was, you know, he went on tour for a little bit, so like he's definitely, you know, tried, and then he has been diagnosed with kidney disease. He's on dialysis. He's kind of dealing with a lot of health issues that kind of took him out of the scene for the last few years. So, you know, the idea from this was he has built up some medical debt, which we all have dealt with that kind of bullshit to begin with. But so we thought, well, let's try to get him out of that, but also to try to pick up his spirits a little bit. I think he could use some laughs. I think he would agree with that. So I think this will be a great way to also, you know, make him feel good. You know, everybody can kind of get together, just have a few laughs. And I figured the best way to do that is obviously bring some of the friends who knew him together, but also kind of bring up some of the people who've only maybe been in the scene for the last year or two or three who, you know, would be new to him, but also to like maybe a general audience who's going to come to this thing. So hopefully that works out and you guys enjoy it. But it's going to be packed 4 hours for sure. We're going to have a lot of talent, really funny stuff. So maybe we'll get into some of the individual questions I have for you. I read in the description earlier. Russell, obviously you're also a musician. When did you kind of start combining the music and comedy together?
Recently,
Yeah.
Yeah, just this year, because you're gonna hear my stuff. I'm not gonna explain it, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I was
save some surprises for
I
the
was
show.
like, you know what? I want to be funny. Like I can play guitar really good, and I didn't know how to combine it, but I it was kind of just inspired by watching TV and just I never wanted to be in a cover band. I always wanted to write my own songs, but I will be covering some songs.
They're good covers.
Yeah, it's not what
I can vouch.
it's not what you might expect me to cover, but they're pretty good covers.
I think it's exactly what I would expect.
So I bring my my old ska punk genre back to comedy.
All right. Can you tell us what maybe some of these songs are about, or?
You'll find out.
Yeah, find out. That's fair.
Just they're covers, but they're popular, but they're not quite what you're gonna expect.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Leave it at that.
That's fair.
So I will be playing guitar at this show, so you will hear me sing and play some silly songs. And by request, and actually by your wife, I might be running around and yelling at people, so we're going to have that too. So sometimes I hurt myself doing that, but hopefully I don't hurt myself before I play guitar, so we'll get that.
Is that before or after you take the steel chair?
Yeah, you know.
During.
During. If someone doesn't like my songs, they can hit me with the steel chair.
Okay, that works.
Oh.
But I have a feeling everyone's going to like my songs.
I think so. Have you been organizing any shows lately or doing any of that kind of stuff?
I haven't been organizing, but I got asked to do some stuff, so I've been here and there. Actually, can I throw a little plug in?
Absolutely.
Saturday on the Pennsylvania Travel Network, I'll be on Eric Mantell Investigates talking about the Jim Thorpe UFOs.
Oh, hell yeah, Russell.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Now, have you had any extraterrestrial experiences?
I seen weird stuff, and I'm going to talk about the weird stuff I saw in Jim Thorpe on the show.
Holy shit.
And someone had a shared experience with me that appears on the show that I don't remember about, but I was there. I didn't see anything, but I just don't remember anything.
Interesting.
So my friend will talk about that, and I'll be like, I don't remember that. I was there, but I don't remember that.
The aliens wiped your memory.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's the guy who told me I sucked. He was replaced.
Full circle.
He replaced Russell, and I just wasn't aware of it. Now it all makes sense.
Also, I don't drink as much anymore. So
So it wasn't it.
yeah, I was an alien.
Speaking of which, Angelia, you've been organizing a lot of shows and events. What made you kind of want to get into like that side of it, like hosting open mics and things like that?
Yeah, so it's kind of not serendipitous, but it kind of just like happened naturally, like with doing shows at the Keys. When the boys there started running comedy shows and asking me to be a part of it, I just kind of slowly started inching in my ideas in. And then I realized that, through my suggestions of bringing tables into the Keys and setting it up like a comedy show, we would do just like dumb candles or like having themes or like whatever. Like I just really liked curating things. And I've always been someone that likes doing that and like community organizing. So it just became something that like I like to do. I like to curate a show. I like to pick who's on it based on the type of show I'm trying to run or where the venue is going to be. Everything from making a playlist that goes with it. I mean, I don't know. I love it. It is a lot of work. It definitely takes away from the time that you're able to put in to comedy. However, I'm going to keep on doing it. I'm going to keep on pushing forward. I just filed for my first LLC.
Nice.
And so
Nice.
I will be producing comedy shows now instead of under my name, under an entity. So you can look out for Cool City Comedy coming to a
nice.
city near you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep-
Might as well, right? Like I'm doing it anyway. So
Right.
I feel like a lot of the times, like when you take away that personalization, it may like open up more opportunities or, you know, and I
Yes.
don't necessarily have to be involved in every show. There are
Right.
so many other comedians around here that can definitely handle hosting it and dealing with it. And, you know, so hopefully this will be the start of me being able to spend more time in comedy and giving also more opportunities and making comedy like more visible as an art form in NEPA. Not that it's not, but I do feel like a lot of the times people undercut us.
Right. I get that a lot too, where people talk about the scene and they really just mean music and nothing else.
Yeah.
And it's like, but there's so many other art forms, you know, not just physical art, but like, you know, performance art.
Yeah.
You know, that is just not really being talked about and focused on.
Yeah, and when I tell people that I do comedy, for example, during the pandemic, I stepped back from a lot of creative stuff and I started getting really into the nonprofit world and volunteering and helping out in my actual community versus being in a creative way.
Yeah.
And when I would mention doing comedy or comedy shows, people were like, we have comedians in this area, or like, you do comedy, or where, or it's not just wisecrackers,
Yeah.
you know. And I tell people all the time, like, we have, and this is no offense, I'm not singling anyone out, this is just like a general statement I say, but I will say, I'll be like, we have like 40 or so like active stand-up comedians in northeastern Pennsylvania, and a good 25% of them are talented, working, not that anyone else isn't talented, but you know what I'm saying, but like are actually like
Yes.
booked, working, sometimes touring like comedians.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that. So it's important that everyone knows, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that comes back to also what I was saying at the beginning about like comedy, like being a united front versus like having like this little pocket in Scranton and this little pocket in
Yes.
Jessup and this little pocket in Pittston, or like all these little things. Like it needs to be NEPA, just like NEPA scene,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
NEPA Comedy Fest.
Yes.
So it is. Yeah.
Which is in Stroudsburg typically. The first year, which you know we talked about on the show, is went very well.
Yeah, it did. And we have some bigger stuff. We just announced our final headliner for the show, for the festival. I mean, so yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. We have a lot of amazing opportunities. Some plugging submissions June 1st. That's the last day to submit. So if you haven't and you want to submit a tape, pay your dues, and yeah. But like a lot of big opportunities, and I was talking with Chris Jones and with the banana interviews because I did them last year, and now this year he wants me to work directly with the festival in interviewing comedians, and I think that's a amazing opportunity given to me.
That's
And,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and especially because the headliners we got are like really big name. Not saying last year's headliners weren't great, but these are like the next tier because it's like nationally touring comedians and comedians with like hundreds of thousands of followers, and I'm just really looking forward to what the festival that's coming up this year. Again in Stroudsburg, it'll be instead of Friday to Sunday, it's going to be Thursday to Saturday. It'll be October 8th to the 10th.
Well, you know, much like a lot of local bands need to open for a national act to kind of get their name out there, make some connections, things like that. You know, that kind of stuff gives local comedians the opportunity to be able to open for some bigger names and, you know, maybe do some networking and get their stuff out there, too.
Absolutely. That's what we got last year because we had comics come from we had like some local comics in northeastern PA, but we also had Allentown comics, we had Binghamton comics, we had one guy come all the way from California, people coming from like Ohio and like Middle America. It's just crazy because all these people like came to like Stroudsburg.
Yeah, which is a nice little town.
It's a very nice little town. There's a lot to do there, and a lot of cool restaurants. My favorite is the Newberry's Yards of Ale, which is where most of the shows are happening in the basement in the Hideaway.
Yeah, that's a nice little spot.
It's a nice little stretch
Yes.
too. Like
Yeah.
so it's very like picturesque when you go there.
Right.
And
yeah.
it's in the fall too, when like peak foliage, fall foliage is happening in Pennsylvania. So there's a lot of good like photo opportunities to get with like the leaves changing colors.
Yeah, you're driving through like the Pocono Mountains and everything
Yeah.
like that. So yeah.
So shout out to Chris Jones and Jess Delfino, who
Yeah.
are the main
Yes.
people who run that. Can you buy tickets now if people are ready to buy tickets for any comedy festival, or no?
I don't know off the top of my head.
But they can like and follow on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes, NEPA Comedy Fest on Instagram, and then we also have a Facebook page, same name, NEPA Comedy Fest.
All right, cool. Now, some of the events and things that you organize are focused on maybe highlighting women, the LGBTQ community, things like that. Why do you feel that that's important? Do you feel like they really don't get enough around here in terms of opportunities?
Yeah, we deserve more. Yeah, for sure. And not just around this area, in the world in general, right?
Sure.
So it's just really a systemic problem when you look at it, especially in the world of comedy. I had a lot of issues coming up as a woman. And I had a lot of issues coming up as a straight woman because I offered nothing to the men around here. And I'm not saying that in any type of way, but I mean, ask any other female comedian in this area or any area and ask them how they were treated by male bookers, right? Because it was the same for me as well until, oops, sorry, I'm gay. So, you know, it's difficult. In addition to that, I feel like it's really important that queer individuals have a safe space to do their art, especially because when a queer artist is performing in a space that isn't queer centered, what happens is they start to lose their authenticity and it becomes like almost tiptoeing in a way around the audience, or even feeling the need like underneath, like that subconscious need to like educate the people who you're talking to or to explain what you're talking to, versus when you're putting queer artists in a safe space with an audience that is also queer, you are uplifting them, right? And you're giving them a chance to perform and be who they are without those limitations. So I really think that that's important. I'm not going to say I love straight men, but like, you guys are cool. Like, I love... I know, I don't. But like, I just feel like there are enough opportunities everywhere for cis white straight men.
Absolutely.
And there are many cis white straight male comics in this area that I love and I book multiple times and I will continue booking them. Are you going to find a show that I'm running with a full lineup, a full roster of men? No, I really do try to make sure it's leaning with women, queer, BIPOC comedians. So, because they deserve it and need it.
Right on.
The the other thing too, and I not to get serious or touchy or anything like that, but it's just something that I've seen in local comedy and national comedy, because I do follow a lot of comics. I enjoy stand-up comedy. I'm always listening to it. I had to paint the bathroom over the weekend, so I just put on just comedy specials. That's all I was listening to. Comedy interviews, things like that. That's the kind of stuff I like to have on in the background and stuff. Keeping up with, who's interesting, who's good, who's not, that sort of thing. And there's kind of this certain subsect of modern comedians who are really insistent that we gotta punch down, that everybody needs to be punched. We gotta make gay jokes and trans jokes especially. This has become this big debate, and especially in the I guess for lack of a better term, the Joe Rogan sphere of where there's a whole subsect of new comedians. Like when I was growing up, if you wanted to be a comedian, you were looking at people like George Carlin, Richard Pryor, things like that, who, people, Robin Williams, like absolute legends who were putting out these incredible HBO specials. And then you had the Comedy Central, which I think started a whole other group, gave young comedians a chance. A lot of people, spun off into their own TV shows and things like that. You had the Comedy Central Presents, where they did half-hour specials for people who weren't at the level where they could do an HBO special and that sort of thing. Then when Netflix came along, you had Netflix specials, which obviously still goes on now. But, it was this whole kind of progression. And once I think Joe Rogan, who I apologize to people who maybe are, actually I don't. I think he's one of the worst comedians of all time. I think his stand-up is terrible. I think he's never been funny. Sorry to my buddy Johnny Popko. I was a huge fan. But he has kind of developed his own sort of thing where because of his podcast kind of taking off, there's this whole group of comedians that have kind of come out of that. And most of them are not very good. I think some of them are okay. I think a lot of them are really not. But whether or not whatever political part you want to decide on, I'm not trying to jump into make this a left versus right sort of thing or anything like that. But the big thing that they really talk about on his podcast over and over is like, we're the defenders of free speech and we need to joke about everything. But they get so butthurt when you joke about them and you talk about them, like they cannot take a joke about themselves at all. But they're really insistent. Well, people are really sensitive about this topic right now, like trans people, for example. So we really just need to hammer. We need to do every set needs to have a trans joke. And finally, people like Mark Maron and things like that have kind of pushed back over that. And it's like, okay, politically, look where we're at as a country right now. Look who's in power. Do we really need this? Does this really need to be a thing?
Our job as comedians is to make people happy, to make people laugh. If you're not doing that, you're a fucking troll.
Right.
If you're putting people down and you're having people leaving your venue miserable, you're not doing your job as a comedian.
Well, that's I think where it's gotten really strange, where it's like when comedians were first doing podcasts, a lot of it was we're doing a podcast because we all want to joke and we all want to hang out, we all want to have a good time and maybe crack open a couple of beers, smoke a joint, whatever, and like you're listening in on our conversation. And then it kind of became this platform where they're like literally having politicians and I mean, famously Trump himself on these podcasts. And you are now taking a stance, whether you like it or not. And then when they started getting backlash from comedy fans who were like, I thought this was supposed to be funny and I thought we were all supposed to be joking around and now you're endorsing politicians. Then it was like, oh, well, I don't take responsibility for any of that. Well, now that he's doing things that I don't like that he's in office, I didn't endorse him. I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, but you did.
Yeah.
You had him on your show. That wasn't something that was commonplace before you. But now that you have this power and you have this huge, huge audience, I think it really changes the perspective of all that kind of stuff. So I don't mean to go on kind of a rant or a side. I'm bringing it back now because I want to hear what you guys have to say. But I guess I feel like that's kind of changed a lot of what people think is comedy now.
Yeah.
And how stand-up works and what a comedian's job is in the world. Like I think the better comedians understand we are clowns and we are here to have fun with people, make people feel good, like you said. And then you have these other people who are like, but no, we are the philosophers. We are the defenders of free speech. We are and it's like, no, that was George Carlin and he's dead. You are not him.
I mean, AI did bring him back.
Unfortunately.
I think that's all a symptom of everyone having access to broadcast their thoughts immediately nowadays, right?
Yes.
Like anyone can say whatever they want and then everyone has access to it. It's not filtered anymore, right? It's not filtered through a broadcasting company or the FCC or anything like that. Like if you want to say something, you put it out there. Comedy is really subjective, right? So just like in this world, unfortunately, when you have people that believe one thing versus people that believe another thing, like that's not going to add up. And so there's always going to be people that like think this is funny or think that is funny. As a comedian, like piggybacking off what Russell said, where it's like our job to make people laugh. Like, please don't let me get canceled for this. Do I think that anything can be funny? Yes.
Agreed.
Do I think that anyone should joke about anything? No.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you don't have a lived experience like, you need to shut the fuck up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
if your joke is being, if your joke is stemming from a bias that you have, or something that isn't a fact, then maybe you need to shut the fuck up. And in addition to that, make it funny then. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
guess what? Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, they say this fucked up shit, and people flip out about it, and some people flip out, and then other people say, oh, no, it's okay, and or I get what he's... But like, guess what? Like, on some instance, there's like a point. On some level, there's a point and there's a lesson that they're trying to get across to that. So, like, say what you're gonna say, but if you can't put some meaning behind it, and if you can't actually elevate that to make it funny, and all you're doing is punching down and using a stereotype because you have nothing else to fucking say, then are you a comedian? I don't know. I guess that's subjective based on who listens to you and yourself, but like, I don't really know how many other comedians are going to view you as funny.
Yes.
Right? Unless they are aligned with who you are.
Like you said, I think anything can be funny, but it's how you write it and how you deliver it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you are not that and you want to joke about that, then I think there's clever ways to make that work. And I think a lot of the people who are saying that who are demanding that we be able to make these jokes, it's like, yeah, but you haven't put the time and effort into actually writing a real bit.
And even if you are crossing a line, or you feel like you are crossing a line, I feel like if you do that with a level of respect, or if you are an established comedian where people know like what you stand for, or you know, or you're going to bring it back in your set like to that level of respect, or bringing people back to like the point of that, okay, like that can be tolerable. But a lot of the times people aren't elevated enough, educated enough, or care enough about the art or about what they're getting across to other people to analyze that, and they just are getting up there and spitting whatever. And I think that, unfortunately, especially on a local level, is what hurts the comedy scene.
I have more fun playing PC rooms. The rules are right there. Like they want you to know what you should say and what you shouldn't say, and the rules are for no racist, no slut shame, no fat shame, and the basic rule is don't be a dick. And like you
Michael says fat shaming.
you could write like a ton of jokes around that. Like I would consider myself a PC comic because I followed all those rules, and like someone said to me, Russell, you're not PC. I'm like, what do I say that's not PC? And then they're like, well, you call people's dicks ugly. I'm like, yeah, but that's everybody. I'm calling everybody.
Yeah.
And like, oh, that joke about you punching a pregnant woman, it gets away. It kills in PC rooms. It actually does. Like,
well, that's the thing is you have to do it in a way where as you do it, it's so absurd that it's so obvious that it is fake.
Yeah.
That it is not something you're actually doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually, my mother came to one of my shows and she goes, Russell, do you really have night terrors? I go, no, it's just a joke. She's like, oh, good, you're not killing babies out there.
Yeah, I love taking a sliver of truth and then just running with it.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Well, and that's the thing is I think all the best comedians, it's all about themselves and it's about their, because I will always, I don't try to put my 2 cents in at the open mic unless people ask me for it. I just kind of, if I enjoy it, you could tell that I'm enjoying it on my face. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm probably just busy doing something else or whatever else. But I do listen to everybody. I do watch everybody. I do pay attention to what everybody's doing. And if they ask me for any kind of advice, I'm happy to give it if that's what they want, But I think the especially when you're starting out, I think the best comedy comes from like poking at yourself, because once you bring yourself down to that level, it seems obvious, but you're also the audience feels at ease too, because it's like you're not pointing at me, you're not making a joke out of me, you're making a joke out of yourself, and it also makes it look, it makes you relatable. Like we've all done stupid things, we've all had stories about things that have gone wrong in our lives, things like that. So when you're telling those kinds of stories, people are like, oh yeah, I totally relate to that.
You could almost feel the room relax when, like you start out and they're like a little tense. Is he going to pick on me? And then when they see that you're targeting yourself, they kind of relax and you could see the laughs start building.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to see more of that kind of stuff, and I think obviously we're going to see a lot of that kind of stuff on Sunday. I guess there's no real good transition. You talked about the NEPA comedy festival, but also in general, you go out to support a lot of other comedians. I know,
Yes.
Russell, you do that as well.
Yeah.
You're always at a show, that sort of thing. I think that's so important too, because that's something we talk about on here all the time when we have bands on, is that, musicians always want, well, how do I get people to go to shows? Go to shows. You go to other people's shows and they see you there and they go, that guy's always at my show. I really got to go check out his band.
Yeah.
I got to go to his show. And that's how you really build up a following. If you isolate yourself, then you come off like, my band's great. I don't give a shit about any of you people. My band's really good though, and everyone should come to see me. Nobody's gonna fucking see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's kind of, is it the same way with comedy?
Yeah.
Exactly the same way with comedy, because I don't want to say names, but like there's people who they don't go to shows, they don't go to, whether it's local or like Wisecrackers or whatever, but they don't go to any sort of local shows, don't really make appearances at the mics, and they go to like their own shows, and then I go to like everybody's stuff. It doesn't matter if it's Wisecrackers or like a little bar show or a show in the middle of nowhere. Like I pretty much promote everybody who's in like northeastern PA
True.
or the Poconos.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, and then the same people who don't really get out, and then they see me doing like guest spots, whether it's at a Don't Tell or at a local bar show, they're like, how do you get on, how do you get all these spots? Like, it's like every weekend you go to something and you end up on a stage, and I'm like, because I show up. And it's really not that hard. I mean, most of the time, like, we're all cool, especially like the local shows. Like, if you show up to somebody's show and they're like charging $10 or $15 something, they'll be like, put your money away. You came out and you supported. That's all I'm asking for,
Yeah.
And that's
I've produced a couple shows where I see a comic in the audience, and I'll talk to the other comics. I'm like, there's a comic here. Let me give him 5 minutes. You guys cool? I don't want to step on any toes. Okay, cool. And I'll get a comic
Same.
on a show. Yeah.
Same. Yeah. If I have a show, and someone shows up, I'll usually give them 5 minutes depending on who they are. And then also if I have a show and it's not sold out, I usually am always like, comics, you want to come in? It's free. Or if it's like a high ticket, like $5. But like, yeah, like I'd rather have my show fill up with comics than have empty seats. Like,
Sure.
why not? Why why wouldn't you? Yeah.
And another thing with these like local shows is you don't who's gonna be on the show unless it's like one of those like Don't Tell comedy secret shows where you don't know
You
the
still
lineup.
probably know if you're on Facebook.
Yeah, but like the general public like doesn't know. But like if you go to like a local bar show, you might run into like somebody who produces shows in like Allentown or produces shows in Binghamton or produces shows in Philly, and you just doing like 5 minutes, you're putting yourself in front of a booker for like 5 minutes, and it's kind of like, this is kind of like your audition tape sort of, and that's another way of like networking. So that's how you can like expand outside of like your local like area and get into like other spots. So it's a good networking opportunity, especially to meet some comics who you've never seen or maybe seen like once or twice. Because I've met comics from like Philly who've seen me one time and then they've seen me perform and they're like, oh, you've gotten better since the last time I see you. And it'll be like maybe a couple months. And it's like, that's kind of like, oh, I'm surprised you like remember me because, we haven't talked in like a long time. But it's like, that's good to know.
That happens to me too.
That's what you should be hearing
Yeah.
too. Like if you're
Yeah.
a comedian, like, and you're doing more mics than just the mics that you run, people should be coming to you and being like, oh yes, right? Like,
Yeah.
or I wasn't laughing at you and now I am.
Yes.
So I want to mention the banana interviews as well, because the banana interviews are super fun because you're promoting your fellow comedians, in a lot of ways, but you're also kind of networking a little bit too, and I think that's also something that's like social media wise. I'm gonna stop if I see a guy in a banana costume talking to somebody. I'm definitely gonna stop and watch that. If I didn't even know who you were.
Yeah, it's very interesting because like you see on like TikTok and Instagram all these like man on the street interviews,
Yes.
and it's like they're like a dime a dozen, and I didn't want to do that because you see them all the time. Like you scroll through them, like probably if you go on like TikTok, like maybe the first 10 videos, I'd want to say like 4 or 5 will be like some guy in New York or Philly or big city, and it's like, can you name 10 NFL teams that don't sell Coca-Cola in their stadium or some stupid thing like that? And I wanted to do that, but I also wanted to do it as a way of promoting local comics. That was the whole point, because I tell, like, before any interview, I'm like, at the end, I'm going to ask, do you, like, promote your social media? And I was like, put shows, podcasts, specials, anything. Like, it's all free game. Like, it's for you. It's like, it's on my page, but it's also for you because it's people who follow me who are like, oh, I like this person, or, oh, this comic's really funny, and then you can go to their page and view their clips, view their special podcasts, and be like, I might want to put them on a show. So it's definitely like a way of like kind of networking, and it's just like it's another like networking opportunity. I see it as that way because I've interviewed like comedians at like Wisecrackers and comedians at NEPA Comedy Fest, and even the Electric City Improv. I've pretty much interviewed almost every improv actor and actress at the ECI, and it's like they love the banana interviews. Yeah, they really do. Like, cause like I did 2 recently because I had a girl ask me, when are the banana interviews gonna come back to the improv? And I was like, probably soon. I mean, I haven't done one in a while, but like they were in popular demand, so I went there on a Friday. I was like, who wants to do an interview? And you know, the floodgates just opened.
Did you have these banana costumes just kind of laying around, or did you buy it specifically with this?
I borrowed it from work, and
From Walmart?
I borrowed it from work.
From the banana costume store.
Yes, from the Banana Republic, which does not sell bananas. Only Republic. But yeah, I got the costume from work, and it was on Halloween. I wore it, and I took it home, and nobody missed it or anything because it was like, I don't know, it was at Halloween, so it was only gonna get 86th or whatever. I don't know. What did you say? I didn't hear you. So yeah, and I just had it, and I was like, I picked up the banana costume. It's like, you know, in like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where like the Green Goblin mask is talking to William Dafoe.
Yes.
And the banana costume was like talking to me. It was like, put me on and go interview local comedians. You want to be something in this industry, don't ya? And I was like, yeah. So I did that, and I went to this show at the Loft in Scranton, dressed as the banana, and I had everybody cracking up, and I was like, I'm going to do this new thing on my Instagram where I interview local comics, and, you know, you could talk about stuff, and I'm going to ask questions nothing related to stand-up comedy. And I think that's the thing, because, like, you know, it was like, because, like, I think it's more interesting because it's kind of like these wacky questions, because I got the inspiration from, like, Nardwar, where he interviews like musicians and rappers and social media personalities, and I was like, that's really cool. And like I did something similar but more on a shorter form, and also more like crazy, because I'm asking these like crazy questions like, how many Cokes is Joey B. Donuts gonna drink at the V Spot tonight? or how many or no, not that. How many what's your go-to McDonald's order or some shit like that?
Okay.
And some questions are like, I get funny answers, and some it's like, I don't even know what to say to this.
There's here, I'll put up a picture for those who haven't seen. This is a picture of you interviewing a small boy.
Oh yeah. I found him walking the streets of Scranton.
Yeah, the kindergartner, I think, of some kind.
Yeah, he was like, oh mom, it's a banana.
Well, that was very nice of you.
Yeah, and he saw it, and I was like, hey buddy, do you want to be on my video? And you know, with parents' permission, he said absolutely, and we did an interview. I really overtowered this kid. Like, I mean, he.
I just can't believe his parents let him grow a hair.
Yeah. I don't know what this kid's on. Like, did he have some like muscle milk in his like Cheerios or something? Like, if you stack two of those kids on top of each other, they could be a whole Joey B. Donuts.
Right?
Looks like the worst Make-A-Wish ever.
You get what you pay for. I feel like two of them could go in the like a trench coat and like sneak into a movie. Like, one ticket for a R-rated movie, please. I just feel that. But yeah, that was a fun interview. That was by the office mural by the loft.
Yeah, I could see the
Yeah.
world's best boss mug there. In the
It was
background.
raining. It was raining that day, and well, it wasn't raining, but it was like it just got done raining, so it was like, I don't know, like not the best. But it was like the third or fourth interview I did, so I was still learning because those like first 5 interviews I did were like the pilot.
Yeah.
Because I was still trying to like figure it out or whatnot. But then after like that, I kind of knew how to like where to set up the stuff. I made sure the microphone was charged because one time I did an interview and I forgot to charge it, and that interview never saw the light of day. And yeah, it was like, you know, I learned a few things doing some of these interviews, and a lot is taken from it.
I mean, that's how I've been doing it too. Is just learning bit by bit and finding that every bit of technology that I have hates me in some form or another. So I'm always dealing with something like that. You know, mic not working or battery not charged or, you know, whatever the case is.
It was just more like ignorance. I just didn't think I had to charge it, and then I was like, the light was blinking red, and then I played the video back, and there was no sound. I was like, well, gonna have to scrap this one. So that was just more out of pure ignorance. But now I know to charge the microphone anytime I go anywhere, because it went through like 20-something interviews at NEPA Comedy Fest without a charge. So that's probably what did it then.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
gonna say. But yeah, make sure you charge your microphones and have a tripod. More specifically, a tripod that is reliable, because I've had tripod issues. That's what it's been for me. Like, my first tripod, it was a piece of junk. Like, it broke after like a week, and I was like, oh man, I'm not buying this. But now I have like a good tripod I got from like Best Buy.
Yeah, you have to invest in those, unfortunately.
Yeah, if you want your content to get better, you got to shell out some of the monies and get better tripods, microphones, you know, whatever's going to make your content better. That's part of, like, you have to make commitments to your art, and that's really the thing you have to, like, you know, if you want your content to stand out and not be mediocre, you got to like shell some money. Like, obviously everybody's got to start somewhere with the basics, and then as you go on and you advance, you want to get like better equipment, so more professional equipment, so people take you more seriously.
Or you could just put a cute dog in it.
That too.
We got this little guy over here who's been hiding out the whole show. So I don't know if you guys have seen him on the overhead or wherever, but
Got some shots.
yeah, this little buddy's been pretty good this whole time, just kind of sitting here and doing his thing. Yeah, I know. Your mommy's upstairs. She'll be right back.
Oh, you okay? You okay? Okay. It's okay.
So since obviously we all kind of met through the NEPA scene open mic, and we'll be 12 years old this fall. So I thought if you want to share your favorite memory or time that you came there or anything else, I figured we could, you know, throw some of those in, because that also ties in with you know, Dan and the benefit and everything too.
Oh, there's always a moment that sticks out in my head about Dan. That joke I do where I run around and Dan's in the back row, like all the way in the back. He's like, Russell. Like, to me, to run to yell at him. And what you're speaking about earlier, like going out to support people, like I remember seeing Dan at like some of my shows. Like, I'd be in Binghamton doing a show, and Dan would just show up and he would be there, and it'd make me so happy just to see someone to come out and support me. You know, like that's what I try to do. Like right now, it's kind of tough. Money's kind of tough right now. I try to get out once in a while when I can.
Yep.
But I appreciate seeing like a comic at one of my shows, and Dan's a good hang. Like hanging out with Dan is great. Like he's funny on stage and off stage, and he's really bright. And like if I was stuck in an elevator with someone for an hour, I'd want to be Dan.
You know, I always admired too how upfront, like a lot of his jokes would be these self-deprecating jokes about his weight and things like that, and he would just kind of go for it. And you know, I think that also really put the audience at ease and you know, let people laugh and whatever. That, you know, and when we did, I did an article on him, and he used the he's, you know, has shared it many times over the years, but he used the photo for one of his like GoFundMe's and stuff too, and it's like that's part of the whole thing that we try to do with the open mics too, is offer people the photos that they can use, and the live streams hopefully get their name and their material and stuff out there as well. He was a good boy while you were gone.
Did he try and get on the couch?
No,
Okay.
surprisingly.
Wow.
He gave me a kiss on the hand. No.
I was like, he won't even kiss me yet. Don't make me jealous.
I was pointing at him, and he just gave me a little.
We were talking about some memories of the NEPA scene open mic over the years.
Yeah.
Anything that like stands out, or you know, something fun or enjoyable, or something you did not like. That's fine too. You can go for that.
One thing I noticed about that period is that as I'm in like the almost 10 years since I've done that,
Yeah.
I'm like super ADHD, like very neurodivergent. I have like a lot of weird sensitivity issues, and I hate jeans. I've always hated jeans since I was like in second grade, and like I wore a lot of jeans to your mic. Like every time I see a picture, I'm just like always in jeans. I was like, what is that? I don't know how my fupa handle that stuff. But I think the validation
Yeah.
I got from the NEPA scene open mics in terms of like not only the friendships, but like, yeah, like being rewarded for doing well in terms of like booking, in terms of like progressing, in terms of getting $50 at the end of the night. Like, yeah, it was just really great. It was great overall. I don't have the capacity. I'm so old anymore. Like, I don't know if I can come out until like midnight.
Yeah, that's the tough thing too, is we always have that issue of you know, people got to get up for work in the morning,
know.
things like that. So I try to start a little bit earlier if we can. You know,
yeah.
the Union Vapors one, we don't have a choce because they do everything after business hours are closed.
Oh, okay.
So
but I will
we
say,
start out later there.
I went to go see Marina and Jenny Davala do a show up at Union Vapors, and I'm meaning to make it for Mike because the setup there is just so great. Even
It's
just like
really cool,
I had
yeah.
my laptop and I was like doing schoolwork while enjoying the performances. It was just like incredible. Yeah, I loved it. So I'll hopefully be up there soon.
Well, it took a lot to like convince me that we wanted to do a second open mic.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like, do it, you know,
yeah.
because the Tuesdays are a lot of time and effort.
How about a third one
sometimes
now
and
in
stuff,
Zurn
yeah.
County?
Oh, well, so I won't name the venue.
What are you trying to kill him?
I won't name the venue.
I mean,
but there was a Luzerne County venue that used to have a really good open mic over the years that hasn't had one in a really long time, and I pitched it to them, and they were very interested, and they were all ready to go with it until I asked about any kind of payment whatsoever.
Don't you hate that?
Yes, I really do.
To the
'cause-
fact where sometimes I feel bad from taking payment from people because I'm just
Yes, like they try to guilt you into it. And it's
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, dude, but I've been doing this for over a decade now. Like I'm not at the point anymore. Like when we did at the Woodlands, I wasn't taking money for that
Yeah.
because we were just starting out.
But if
We were
you're
just trying to get the
bringing
name
a
out
bunch of
there.
people into their business
Yes.
more than normal
Right.
for a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
like yes, something should be
Right,
done.
there has
or
to-
at least
yeah.
like a base and a percentage. Like there has to be something worked out. Like
Yeah,
Yeah, people buying drinks, people
Yeah.
hanging out. Like we hang out even after the mic, and we're still hanging out,
Yep.
bullshitting, talking, and getting a drink.
I no longer do some of my mics or shows that were very successful, because the venue thought that I didn't deserve to be paid more than $20.
Right.
You know, and when you're putting in all that work, and people are buying $600, $800 worth of drinks in 2 hours, more than normal, like, yeah, you can throw me something, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing the flyers, I'm doing the advertising, I'm hosting it, I'm doing signups. So yeah, it's unfortunate because in that way, you know, I'll have the same venues that want to kind of like shiest comics or hosts, and, you know, pay musicians that come through for 2 hours, $150. So I'm just like, well, I guess comedy, and that's I think where a lot of the that like thought that you just like have in your head of like, oh, like comedy isn't as important, or comedy, like people don't view comedy as an art. It's these type of situations that reinforce those thoughts in my head anyway, because I'm like, oh yeah, I guess they don't view me as an artist. So thank you to the venues who do, and who do book us and pay us.
Yeah, and that's so like with even with Union Vapors versus the V Spot, I don't get paid the same amount at each one because they're both different business models.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like if you have a bar where there's people coming in and they're spending lots of money or whatever, I can't charge the same thing that I would for something where it's really it's a free event.
Yeah,
where,
and there's coffee guys.
There's coffee,
bar for
espresso.
donations.
Yeah, exactly. So everything's kind of, you know, so it's a much less, you know, less there. But to me, it's more, it's fulfilling to have both sides, because I know there's also different artists that need different things from both.
100%.
You know, there's some that want maybe a crowd where they have to do a little bit of work to win them over.
Yeah.
Whereas, which is you kind of have to do at the V Spot a lot of times. Whereas, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, just because of who walks in, which obviously I or nobody else can control. But with Union Vapors, it's kind of more of a listening room sort of vibe, where people are just there just for that. So they're going to listen to you. They're going to be there for that. And sometimes it's just the artist, but a lot of times they'll bring their friends and things like that as well. So, you know, we get nice little groups up there, and it's good to have that too, especially if you're just starting out and you're maybe intimidated by something like the V Spot.
And it's having a place like that, like when you moved to Thirsties, where it was like smaller, like it was still a bar, but like that was small, and you know, I was able to talk to everyone and mingle and form friendships and stuff like that.
Right.
Sometimes that's my most favorite part of comedy, just to get to know someone. I like to compliment someone, like, hey, that thing you just did, that was great. And just making friends.
And I love that stuff spins things off too. You know, I've seen bands form at the open mic, but I've also seen shows come out of that, friendships, things like that. That's important too. To not be, I think a lot of people get competitive with things. And they go, oh, well, I'm mad at you now. You run an open mic? We used to come to my open mic, and now you run an open mic? I hate you now. I'm mad at you for that.
Or we can like talk and figure out how we can have both open mics.
Right, exactly.
Like
that's stupid. Like that's such a dumbass
like
attitude.
when I was approached by someone, I don't know if they wanted me to do something on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, but like it was when Ryan was doing Abide, and I called up and I was like, which is it, the first or the third? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which one is it, so I can do the
So that you
opposite?
could do
Like,
the
duh.
Right.
Like,
It was the same thing when John Bubble used to have his mic at Flaherty's in Kingston, because it was like opposite of when Ryan was doing Abide.
okay.
So it was the same thing. So it's kind of like, you know, oh, well, your mic's the same day as my mic, so now you're alienating the comics, where it's like they're either going to go here or they're going to go there. But in reality, there's like, if you just talk and work things out with the schedule, then like there's enough mic for everybody to go around. Because I'm pretty sure comics would like to hit, the more mics the better,
Correct.
the more reps the better. So it's like, why can't we just, you know, instead of butting heads, let's just all communicate and work something out with the schedule. You know, between, obviously, like the bars, that's a separate thing. Like, maybe they have stuff going on. But, like, us as comics, like, because the comedy community, especially local here, is very tight-knit. We all know each other. So it's like, it's not like we all can't, like, just talk.
Sure.
Maybe we should fight.
Rock, paper, scissors,
Steel
punch
chair?
you.
With a steel banana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Steel
sure.
banana.
Steel banana on Sunday. Rudy Brew.
Sunday. Steel bananas.
No, don't steal bananas. You'll go to jail.
But you can steal banana costumes.
No, borrow.
Oh, yes.
Borrow.
That's right.
Borrow.
Yes.
Borrow.
Borrow.
Should we get into this massive comment section?
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you so much, guys.
Oh,
Are people? Do people care?
Oh, they very much care. They
How many
very
comments
much
are
care.
there, Rich?
No.
StreamYard is really great because it will just put it, I think it was 156 I saw
Damn.
so far. Across Facebook and YouTube and everything else. It kind
Oh,
of gathers
yeah.
them all here for you. And it does not, the only thing it doesn't count is the Instagram stuff. So I apologize if you're on Instagram, come on over to one of the other platforms. It looks weird on Instagram anyway. So
You got Instagram, you got Facebook. It's
yeah,
all the
yeah,
same
exactly.
umbrella.
So Summer, you have you seen any good stuff in there?
Oh, we got
Anything you want to
tons of
tackle?
it.
All right.
First, I have a question. Can I bring my inflatable banana?
She has an inflatable
An
banana.
inflatable
I
banana?
bought it yesterday.
Is it
Oh.
like a pool floaty or is it like an inflatable?
Yeah, it's like a big old.
Make Joey wrestle it.
Yeah. Can I beat?
I will referee
Yes.
that. I will referee that.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, since we won't be having the no ring matches, we can beat people with that at least,
Yes.
and not get sued.
Down.
So, all right.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
If you, there's a lot of good stuff. So if you want to go down,
Okay. Well, no. I'll let you handle that. I mean, you've been looking at it more than I have because
we'll
I've been
start-
focusing on the interview.
Oh, yes. We only had one person on YouTube, but Russell Austin is my wife's boyfriend, and Lieutenant Governor's baby daddy.
I know who that is.
One of my favorites to work with besides Angelia there. It was Dick Murray.
Yeah.
When she came over to Facebook, actually, and put a lot of comments there. A lot of people are Joey B. Donut's biggest fan. We got Yasmin, and then a bunch. I think Alex James.
I have a very big fan following, as you can see in Scranton. I'm not really that famous, but like the comments say otherwise.
The best banana man around.
Yeah. Start using that as a credit. Most comments on the NEPA podcast.
Well, I mean, this is a group
Maybe
effort
it's,
here.
yeah.
I don't want to take away from.
No, by all means, if it's gonna get you booked, you know what I'm saying. You do what gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
One time I-
speaking of that- Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
you're good.
I said, speaking of that, Dick Murray actually has, working with Angelia and Russell is awesome because they're in the crowd and their laughs are contagious. Love you, babies. Have not had the opportunity to work with Joey yet, but if you'd like to hop on the Carnival comedy, let me know.
Yeah, book them.
We
Dick, book
There's
them.
free pizza and it's honestly good.
Yeah, it's a fun show.
I've heard there's free pizza. We could talk. We could work something out. You know, depending on my schedule. I've had some scheduling issues. I know, Dick, you've reached out to me before about doing Carnival comedy. It's just I've had other shows or other things going on, but we could talk and we could see what the schedule's looking like, and we can make something happen.
I got $4 for doing that show and pizza.
Damn,
The pizza alone is kind of worth it.
that's a big payday, right?
That's right, baby. That's right. Hanover Township, honeys. It
The audience keeps returning because last two
was a
shows
good audience.
I saw familiar faces, so they keep coming back to the show. He runs a good thing. Shout out Dick Murray
Yeah.
And Lieutenant Governor.
and Lieutenant Governor.
We had Dan Hopple himself in the comments.
Yeah.
Look at all these sexy motherfuckers.
Sounds like something Dan would say.
Yeah. Wait till you see the after show.
Bananas left and right.
Bananas gone wild.
There's gonna be some peeling.
Ryan Flaherty, did Joey show up 2 hours early? Well, he did show up 2 hours early, I guess, to the
So
shows.
So I showed up at 5:30 because I was at Armand Has a Mic at Black and Brass, and I just went there to say hi, and I did 1 minute of time, and then I had to come over here for 6. But I probably would show up 2 hours early. I'm not gonna lie, because that's just how I am. It's just like on time to me is not on time. That's how I've always been brought up. So I show up early because it's just professional and the right thing to do. Even if it's like, but maybe
Give
not
me a break.
maybe not 2 hours.
I like semi-professional then.
Oh, he's talking about at the Abide mic the first time there. Yes, I did show up 2 hours early.
Ryan also said, Joey is big into Mrs. Butterworth, just so everyone knows.
I don't want to talk about that on stream because that was a long conversation, but basically, I have some issues with Mrs. Buttersworth, but again, I don't want to get into it. I just think that she shouldn't be doing syrup face.
Well, unfortunately, B stands for Buttersworth, so...
That's what Ryan says, yes. That's his guess.
That is one guess.
Oh, yeah, we have more guesses.
Oh, it's a lot of guesses.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Joey Buttersworth Donuts.
It rolls off the tongue nice.
It kind of does.
Before
creamy.
we get into that, because once you asked that, the chat went crazy. But we got Chris Joe. Joey chefing up in an old folks' home is nuts. And he also said not to pick up any wooden nickels.
Yeah, don't pick up any wooden nickels. They're not worth anything. Yeah, you'll get a lot of splinters.
I had an uncle who used to tell me that all the time, actually.
What
My
does that
mom-
mean? Does that mean something else? Is there like a secret meaning to that?
It means don't pick up any wooden nickels.
There
never
actually
seen
were
a wooden nickel.
there were wooden nickels back in the day, apparently.
But they weren't worth anything.
Yeah,
And now they're not even worth anything on eBay?
probably not.
Maybe a couple bucks, but I don't know.
Maybe a coin collector?
Chris, I hope you're not picking up any wooden nickels in Philadelphia. But I think that's the least of your worries.
All right,
Alright,
there's only different context to a wooden nickel. I'm gonna Urban Dictionary it right now.
Well, while you're doing that, are you ready for the contest of what B stands for?
All right,
This is gonna
yeah.
be a good one.
Alright. We got B stands for Miss Natted.
It doesn't even start with B. And I know because I've been practicing my letters.
We got, no wait, the B stands for Cookin' Mama 2.
That also doesn't start with B.
The B is silent.
All right.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of silent B's.
Joey Cookin' Mama 2 Donuts.
We got B stands for extra size.
Is that Ryan Flaherty?
No, that's Yasmin. Was it Yasmin?
Yeah, it was.
You see how I can tell it's in the family? Because the way she said it, I'm like, okay, that's a Flaherty.
There's some context to that.
Also from Yasmin, B stands for I love green.
Oh, there's some context to that too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now the answers make sense.
Joey, I love green donuts. I'm more of a pink donut guy.
I like the Simpsons donut. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. B stands for bag of wooden nickels.
Joey,
Okay.
bag of wooden nickels.
It's not a wooden nickel. Just so you guys know, it's not a wooden nickel.
Is that a Flaherty too, that answer?
That was
Chris
Chris
Jones.
Jones.
Oh.
Bag of wooden
Next is one of my entries. B stands for buckle your fuckle.
I like how you finger gun that too. For those of you who can't see, she finger gunned it while she said it.
Sir, my mom's watching this.
Everyone's got
Well, buckle your fuckle, Mom.
Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't tell them to say that.
Buckle your fuckle and nickel your pickle.
Joey, buckle your fuckle donut. I mean, it doesn't get any better. But we got Frank said B stands for Burlington Throat Factory.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the one figured in there.
Honestly, that one's my favorite one so far.
Wow, that buckle your buckle. Alright. We got Ryan Flaherty again with B stands for 2.5 million McDonald's.
Yeah!
And then there was a little break, but I want to put this in here. Is Russell looks like the new doorman for the Addams Family.
That was good. I like that. Who was that?
Chris Jones. Chris Jones of the NEPA Comedy Fest.
And the Milk Podcast, I believe, is
Milk
this
Talk.
podcast.
Milk
Talk,
Milk
yeah,
Talk
Milk Talk
podcast.
podcast. Yeah.
Nice. Well, his next guest is B stands for Grimussy.
You guys need to learn your letters.
Yeah. I got a nice alphabet book. I can loan it to you, but I kind of need it back because I borrowed it from a library.
We'll go back to some comments. I want to stick with the B's here. But we got B stands for I was eating the glove.
Okay.
We're just going down every bit.
It's
Every
like an
bit.
encyclopedia of every Joey Donuts quote,
Right.
joke.
I think all these comments got a lobotomy with a banana. That's for Sunday.
I said the B stands for beef with restaurants occasionally.
Okay. I do have beef with some restaurants. I don't want to get into it though.
B stands for wings and pizza.
I think I know who said that. I think it was Manzo.
No, this one's Yasmin again.
Oh, it's Yasmin? Wow.
Yasmin, you're killing it.
Yay.
We love it.
You're throwing some spicy ones in there. Somebody who loves extra sauce on your halal plates.
Ooh. I said B stands for WAP, but then the silent will be in the front.
It's like B in parentheses or like a lowercase b and then WAP. That one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. That's creative.
I think that might be it for the B's. The B guesses.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe I should have said them as like, Joey Bawat Donut. I think so.
I couldn't believe I haven't seen him in a long time, but Joe Craig.
Oh, Joe.
Joe Craig.
Oh my God.
He said be seen open mic.
Oh, that's what it was called.
Yeah.
The first mic the first showcase I did.
Yeah, that Chelsea
Okay.
ran,
Yeah. The BC open mic. Where was it at, Joe? Do you remember what that freaking gallery was called? Oh, that was Chelsea.
Thanks, Joe, for tuning in. It's good to see you again. You should come by the mic sometime, man. Come
Come
by.
Sunday.
Yeah, please come Sunday. We would love to have
Hang for
everybody.
Hopple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, I would pay the $4 that I got from Carnival Comedy to hear Joe Craig play Starboy again.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, Summer. Sorry, I just had to throw that in
No, that's good. A lot of comments of like, the triple threat here tonight.
Yep.
What are we threatening?
You're
Apparently at McDonald's and some other buffets.
Grimace's ass specifically.
Eat bananas. We got an Alicia here. Ange signed my shirt. And where are the donuts? I think that's a great question, Joey. Where are the donuts?
Didn't you bring donuts to the Heat once?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
The one time at Heat, I brought
First
two
mic I ever met him at.
I was in my first
Good
time.
first
It
impression.
was my first mic that I ever met you at.
Oh,
Like you
yeah.
came to the mic for the first time.
Oh yeah. I got 24 donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, and it was like before closing, so it was like the shittiest variety of donuts. So it was like Boston creams aren't that bad, but it was a lot of Boston creams, a lot of like Bavarian donuts, like one sour cream donut, one
best
blueberry donut. So it was just pretty much whatever they had left. So I was like, I'll just take whatever.
Well, as the donut guy and also a fan of like fast food type stuff, what's your favorite donut shop?
My favorite donut shop is probably Krispy Kreme. I'm a
Hell
big
yeah.
Krispy Kreme guy. I love
Excellent
Krispy Kreme.
answer.
I like in the fall when they have the pumpkin donuts. They're like really good. But I could also go for like a plain glaze, like a dozen glaze, but you got to go when the lights
The
on.
full dozen?
Yep.
Fun fact, I believe that I may be a witch because every time I drive past any Krispy Kreme donuts at any given moment, the light is on. So if you want a hot donut, ride with me.
Oh.
My power.
I've never gotten to experience that. That's amazing.
Well,
All right, we got a lot of people, but this is comments from Ryan. Russell and Ange have some of the best laughs in comedy. So
at least someone's remembering me.
oh, there's a lot of comments. A lot of people love the laugh. Ryan asked, what was the song you were singing at Porky's, Joey?
Oh, so I was singing about this one comedian. He comes out to mics every now and then. He's been at the NEPA scene mic. You might know him. His name is Papa Slip Disc. And I wrote a song about Papa Slip Disc because I love Papa. He's such a cool cat in the comedy scene.
Will Papa be there this Sunday?
I heard through the grapevine that we might see Papa Slip Disc.
Oh, shit.
Which maybe I might need to get a banana interview with Papa Slip Disc. I haven't done one with him yet. That might be one to tune into, but we'll see. But yeah, I made a song about Papa Slip Disc and talking about how he likes to throw Werthers at people and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And Russell did some riffing on the guitar for me, and it was like I got through like the first verse and the chorus, and then after that we were laughing so hard we had to stop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was singing about Papa Slip Disc, you know.
Well, my guess was a lot of dirt bike noises.
Oh, dirt bike noises? Oh yeah.
The song of your people.
Yeah. It's like my stim. I just be at work and I'm just like ying ding 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 ding. And then I had coworkers that are like, Joey, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm a little messed up.
Ryan says, someone tell Joey I had 83 wild cherry Pepsis this morning.
Cut him off.
83 wild cherry Pepsis? Like, buddy, like cherry Coke is better.
He's like a gremlin that ate after midnight right now.
We got Jen Stevenson. Russell Austin, you look like Taco Cat.
Love you, Jen. That's my girlfriend.
Oh, I put this because I was like, how did we forget B for blue Gatorade?
Yeah. Blue Gatorade.
Barbasol.
Barbicide.
And then people were saying some stuff about giving you their points. Did this man your receipts?
Yeah.
Oh, I like this. Someone from Frank Pluto. Someone dressed as Grimace needs to show up for Joey one night.
Oh, totally.
That banana suit's gonna get stiff.
That reminds me. On Facebook today, Grimace was at the McDonald's in Scranton.
Oh, shit.
You didn't even go?
No, because I found out about it and the event was over, and I was like, man, I should have been there.
Facebook gotta get their crap together when showing us relevant materials in a timely fashion.
Fuck that algorithm.
But then again, it is a night with Grimace, and this was the daytime, so I don't know if it counts. But I'd be like, Grimace, I'm your biggest fan.
We got some wonderful people offering baskets. Ryan. There we go. Ryan bringing some baskets for the raffle, and Jen as well said she can make a basket.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. We appreciate that.
Ryan's excited for Sunday. Jen, do you have nausea and a taste for ska?
Ska's not dead, by the way.
Nope.
Why would it go up for me?
It's just gray and arthritic. I know from experience.
Jen loves Angie's outfit over there. And that she always says cross-legged.
Vintage 70s, honeys, for real. Yeah.
Joey just casually dropping top-tier NEPA Comedy Fest promos.
Hell yeah.
That's what I do.
Johnny would love this trio of amigas. This trio's bringing a lot of laughs. Oh, here's another B. B stands for, would you like to do a banana interview?
Who said that?
That was Ryan Flaherty.
Oh.
Right before
I would've
we
guessed
showed
that.
the picture with you doing a banana interview with a small boy.
It's funny because I could hear his voice when you read it. Hey guys,
Al James, Joey, how many bees do you own?
5,000 and counting, because bees multiply.
B stands for B-Bay.
Where I got my bees, straight off of B-Bay.
B-Bay.
Al James says, I wish he would wave. Yay! Everybody waves to the camera. Katie Evans says, hey everyone, and you look fabulous.
Who's
Hey,
that?
Katie.
Katie Evans.
Katie Evans. Yeah.
Hey.
Very good friend that I met at NEPA Scene.
Yeah.
For almost
For
10 years
how many
now.
years? Yeah, exactly. So we're hopefully we'll
Wonderful
Paths
singer,
crossed.
we'll see you
songwriter.
Sunday.
I know she left the comment saying that she was going to be at the mic on June 1st.
Oh, cool.
This coming Monday.
Oh, she did tell me that.
I think she's playing the V spot tomorrow, right?
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, tomorrow's the
Thursday-
28th?
Yeah, for
Oh,
steak
yeah.
night.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
her birthday
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try and go.
So yeah,
Yeah.
go check her out at steak night. I think it's.
How much is steak night now? Because I was just arguing with Alicia who commented on it, and I
Yeah.
said steak night used to be $9.99, and she said now it's $17. I said she said it went up. I said didn't it go up to like $12?
$12.95.
It's not $17 now.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. I'm gonna have a steak tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not vegan anymore.
This is the greatest day of my life. Big Joey fan in here.
Thank you for your support.
Joey, you got a big blue wave, the big blue NEPA Scene wave
Right?
coming through.
Yeah. This is.
Ryan Flaherty,
Boost
wait,
for it.
you guys get paid?
Yeah, $4 and some pizza.
Yeah.
I will do anything for free, though. I mean, comedy-wise, usually. But I think that's why people think that they can get one over, too. Because it's like, well,
Yeah.
we know that you'll do it for free, so why
Right.
should we pay you? And it's like, yes, I will do it for free, but you also have money, and you would pay someone else, and my work is valuable, so why not give me
Right?
some money,
Like
please?
something,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing too is, I'll sometimes get the, snide remark here and there from people because now we live in the world where everything is fake news and we hate the media and the media is part of some evil cabal that's out to kill everyone and, destroy the world.
That
and
might
whatever
be
else.
partially
And it's
right on
like,
some level.
I mean, some of that is right, but I don't think NEPA Scene is a
No,
part of
yeah,
that.
no.
And so I don't know why we get lumped in with all that kind of shit. But people will be like, well, how you're profiting off of people, and it's like, if I was going to profit off of somebody, why would I go after a bunch of broke ass artists? What are you fucking talking about? Are you kidding me?
There was literally, do you ever see those memes where it's like, my hands look like this, so her hands look like this, and it'll be like someone with like dirt hands, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone with like manicures, like a credit card. I did one once, and it was like, my hands look like this, and it was like someone holding a microphone. It's like, so her hands look like this, and it's just like someone on the card just like declined. It's too true.
Yeah, it's super funny how like people just kind of get shit twisted.
Yeah, I was just telling.
They think how things are.
Yeah, I was just telling
whatever,
Joey, shout out to Wisecrackers, but I was just telling him, like, I would love to attend more shows and support those comedians and show up, but I can't afford, like, a $30, $25 ticket,
Sure.
like, once a week, or, like, yeah, I just can't, you know?
Yeah.
I work 2 jobs, etc.
And at the same time, too, you know, you have a lot of shows, whether it's comics, musicians, whatever, everybody's like, if the cover charge is more than $5, they're fucking outraged. They're like, oh my God, what?
I know.
$10 at the
I
door?
know.
$15? And it's like,
And some of them have like drink minimums, so you got to buy at least 2 drinks.
And in terms of that, so I have that same mentality too, where I'm just like, well, I don't have the money to pay X certain things, right?
Yeah.
There was a venue I was working with recently that did an all-encompassing show, like dinner, whatever, for like a holiday, and wanted to charge upwards of $70. Included alcohol, included a full meal, appetizer, dessert, everything, and
wow.
a show.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're not going to sell these tickets. Because in my mind, I'm like, who do we think we are? Like, my value, like, people don't want to pay me this. I don't want to pay. I don't have $10, $15 so I'm not, who's going to pay 80?
Yeah.
We sold out. We added another show. And that's also where I'm just like, oh, there are people out there. So I'm big on, there are people out there that will pay too. So I'm also big on, I would love to, like, in a community, in a scene like this, start having like a sliding scale for things too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
can you afford these tickets? Great. Give us the $20. Can you afford more than it? Give us a donation. You can't afford, but you want to come out? Throw us $5 or come anyway. We have seats open.
I
like that is really something that should be implemented in an area where people need the help, you know,
Yep.
especially it's the artists themselves.
Right.
I like doing free shows where the venue will give me a guarantee. Plus, wait, no, there are those.
I know, there are.
But plus, I like to do a tip jar because the audience gets in for free. We still get paid, but the audience feels like they're ripping us off if they get a free show. And like if the show is really good, they'll dump their wallets
That's
in
true.
there.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, like I'll say, hey guys,
All my pennies.
I say, hey guys, since you got a free show, you know, us comics, we need gas money. We need to get back home. So how about you throw something? And they're like, your guys were awesome, and they'll tip like we did something extra for them.
You know,
And we will
Yeah.
for more tips.
Well, you know, a lot of it just comes down to asking. Like, because I was really like, I don't embarrassed or felt like bad asking people for donations for stuff. And now I've kind of worked that into the mic. I will ask maybe 2 or 3 times per mic, like if you'd like to donate, there's the jar over there, whatever, but there's no pressure. Because I also don't want to, like you said, turn people away who feel like maybe they don't have any money, and they literally
Yeah.
don't, but they still want to be a part of something. Anything that any PA scene is ever involved with, I try to make it free. The open mics, of course, are always going to be free no matter what. But also, like, if we host some kind of show or something like that, even this Sunday, like, if you are absolute, like, this is a benefit show, so we hope you obviously pay money, but if you're absolutely broke, but you just want to be a part of this, like, I would absolutely let you in. Like, that is, you know,
Because tickets
not
are
even
how
a
much?
thing. $10.
Okay.
Which is
yeah.
very reasonable. But again, you know, like if I knew that somebody was really down on their luck and they just
Yeah.
kind of wanted to be a part of something, like I wouldn't, you know, charge somebody for that. But yeah, a lot of times you'd be surprised about how generous people can be if they feel like they're getting some kind of value out of it. That they will, you know, throw you a couple of bucks or whatever. And it really does make a big difference, as everybody knows in this economy and the way things have been.
I did a show in Hazleton, and we advertised as a $5 show. And we got to the venue, and there was a line at the venue.
Yeah.
And then after the show, some guy came up to me. He was like, "Wow, you guys put on a great show. Why do you charge $5 for this show? You should be charging $20." I go, "Good. Now tell your friends that you paid $5 for a $20 show and come to the show."
Right.
That's
right.
how we started with the keys also.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were charging $2 when we first started comedy.
Yeah,
$2.
yeah, I remember that.
And then it turned into $5. I think it stayed at $5. But yeah, we just wanted people to come.
Yes.
Honestly. But also
100%.
sometimes, not all the time, but I think also sometimes, not with mics or anything like that, but sometimes with free shows when a venue isn't guaranteeing you anything, it is almost just like, well, why should I come if it's free? What is it? Do you know what I'm saying? So there's also
Yeah,
just like putting a
right.
price on it sometimes does add that value. It's hit or miss, man. You don't even know. You never know,
For
honestly,
sure.
what is the recipe. Someone tell me, please.
And you know, anybody who is an artist or is putting something good out in the world should get some kind of compensation for it. We need to you know, because we're now living in this world where, oh, well, all music should be free, you know, Spotify and all this other fucking bullshit. You know, this should be free, that should be free. And everybody expects everything, especially when it comes to the internet, they expect everything is free. You know, and I deal with that being in media. Everybody expects that, well, the newspaper should be free and all the news should be free and everything that I receive, you know, anything that I want to read about should be free. All videos should be free. All content should be free. So because decades ago, people decided to give everything away because of the way the internet works, they've ruined it for everybody else now. So
Now, there's paywalls. I can't even read.
yeah, there's payrolls and everything else.
pertinent information to the world if I can't afford like the New York Times or the Scranton
Right.
freaking Times.
Well, and like with the Scranton Times, I feel like there's a moral issue with that too, because they were one of those companies that stomped out every little newspaper that tried to come along and compete with them at all. It was either we're going to buy you, which is why they're the Scranton Times Tribune, because they took the Tribune and they combined it with the Times and they got rid of all those people. So they you know, that is the way that they are. But they also, like, any little thing that came along, like I worked for a little Go Lackawanna paper. It was a Sunday paper that was a Scranton-based paper, and they fucking hated that we existed. And they literally went out and threatened other advertisers, and said, if you advertise with them, we're going to blacklist you from our paper, to make sure that they didn't give us any kind of money so we couldn't fucking survive. And so then when it came time to when they were laying everybody off and they were going through their you know, major issue and everything else, I felt bad for the journalists because I know what that feels like. But I didn't feel bad for the fucking company because they did it to everybody else over the years. And then it came for them. And it was like, well, now everybody fucking hates your guts. So of course, now and then you want to put everything behind a paywall. Well, it's like you made yourself the monopoly on Scranton News.
And everyone.
You got rid of everybody else. You were happy to stomp out any kind of competition. And now you want people to pay for basic news. I find that morally reprehensible.
Well, but that's what they want. They don't want people to be informed.
No, they
even
don't,
just
yeah.
hire news places. Like the
Right.
media is all owned by like 6 corporations. Everything's owned by 6 corporations.
Exactly,
And they
yeah.
want these little people that are doing the work, that are doing the footwork to interview local artists, local musicians, The Weekender, whatever. They're like or comedians. I don't know. All of us. They're like putting us on a and they don't want to charge us. Like, how about when insurance is free? How about when my healthcare is free? My art will be free. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But you want this stuff to you also want these services to exist for you, but then you want it for free. So it's like, so where does somebody like me who is just trying to get by, I'm not trying to profit or to become rich or anything else, where do I make money? Like, how do I get by? Like, so it comes down to like merchandise and donations and, you know, things like that, sponsorships, you know, local businesses, stuff, which a lot of them just don't want to spend the money. And I get it, because, you know, we're all, you know, in that age. But, you know, literally those couple bucks can mean like, okay, now I can do the next open mic. Now I can pay the bills and make sure like this studio keeps running. Like that kind of
I've
stuff,
learned so
know?
much about like local stuff from NEPA scene and like the local breweries, like local restaurants.
Right.
And
So
stuff.
if you're, you know, feel like you get some kind of value out of it, you know, like it's got to be a symbiotic sort of relationship where we both help each other. And I think most artists kind of get that, you know, they understand that. But other ones, you know, like, sure, I'd love that there be more outlets out there, but they're all going away.
I know.
I just said the other day to somebody, and people, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The Weekender has been gone for over a year now.
I know. Well, they still have online, or no?
Nope. It has been
Wait,
dead.
really?
It has been dead for over a year now.
Wait, why do I keep
And this
adding
is
my
after
events to their calendar?
this is after several relaunches, by the way. Several relaunches where they've tried to, you know, continue that, you know, thing and kick a dead horse. And it's like,
Where's the news coverage on that?
it's just gone because
like being
well, they
gone.
also don't want you to know that. They don't tell you that. So it's just gone. So it's like, so outlets like we used to have, the Electric City was the Scranton
that's
Times
been-
version of the Weekend
yeah,
Center.
yeah.
That's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
They tried to relaunch as Access NEPA.
Yeah, bring back Man of the Week.
And
We
that-
want Man of the Week.
that-
Joey B.
that's
Donuts,
another-
number one. Number
Ooh, yeah,
one,
there
Man
we
of the
go.
Week.
Right. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's not a lot of outlets left. So you got to support the ones that are there, while they're still there. But that also means like being part of the community too, and not separating yourself from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that we have integrated that enough to understand. Like it's weird because like as a journalist, they tell you also not to be involved and not to like be. You have to kind of separate that sort of
Yeah.
thing. But it's like I think that kind of went away with the open mics and everything else. Like
You know what? It's nice that you feel. It feels like for us as performers that you give a shit and you're promoting us and you're putting us out there, and it's just great to have something like NEPA scene.
Well,
I don't see something like that in other spots, but like it's like I was saying before, someone from at an Allentown punk rock show recognized me because of NEPA.
Right. And I mean, and I consider all you guys my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want you to succeed. I want everybody, rising tide lifts all ships sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys succeed, I succeed, everybody else succeeds, the venues succeed. The scene is what it is because everybody is lifting each other up. If we're
I
not
like
doing that.
wearing NEPA scenes, like when I'm out at shows and someone will ask me about it, and then I could explain it to them, and they're like, "Oh, I got to check that out."
Yeah, and that's cool. And I like to kind of keep it that way a little bit, where it's still a little bit of a cult following sort of thing. A little, you don't want to get too big because then you get into like last year. There was a big news story, and WNEP had contacted me to do an interview, and so I brought them down here because it looks professional and that sort of thing, and they did the interview.
Yes.
And then those WNEP people creeped into my comments and things like that. And I'm like, oh no, here we go, because those people are they're like you want to talk trolls.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're feral.
They are.
I love watching
insane.
Talkback.
Talkback
They're in-
16.
Oh
I love
my
watching it.
fucking God.
I've called in a few times. I've made it on the air a few times.
So yeah, when those people get involved, it's oh god, I got to get rid of these fucking people. Holy shit, because they had all kinds of shit to say about what I had to say.
Yeah,
It
of
was like,
course.
oh my god, What else? Any other interesting?
Yeah, we got a couple other things.
All right.
We got Alex James. Thank you, Joey B, for letting me borrow your Ferrari to save those orphan children.
Okay.
I have some orphans to save.
Yeah.
Also.
And he just saw a wooden nickel and almost picked it up, so thank you for stopping him.
Ew.
For Alec, if I find any wooden nickels in my Ferrari, we're gonna have a problem. It better not have gotten on the spade.
Oh my god. I would read what a wooden nickel is right now, but I don't know. I think NEPA scene will get canceled. But it's on Urban Dictionary.
I'm gonna check it out later.
It's the second one. Oh, here. Let them all see
I don't
your
have my
reaction.
glasses.
Russell?
That's too close. Hold it out here.
Okay.
No, that's still not good. The light's now in my eye, so yeah, don't. Yeah.
Ah!
So, viewers at home, do it at your own risk.
If you know sign language, that's a hint.
So yeah, I don't make any wooden nickels or anything off of 99% of the content we produce, by the way. So that's why when we ask for your donations or you to buy a T-shirt or a sticker or something like that, that's why we do that. It's because we're not rolling in the wooden nickels over here.
There's probably someone out there in the audience that will provide you with wooden nickels,
Yep.
based on my research.
We got Russell's laugh is contagious. Everybody agreed.
Who was that?
That was also Alec.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
He started blowing everything up. So Dan Hopple again. Can we talk about how Russell's hair looks like he just drank from the wrong grail.
Oh, Dad, I
Vessel with the pencil!
just drank from the wrong trail. I'm gonna be laughing about that.
Oh, that was good.
We're supporting on Sunday. And then Joe Craig, I guess trying to answer, wasn't it the art scene gallery? On
Oh, the
Lackawanna
arts.
Art scene
Art
in
scene?
Lackawanna Avenue?
Oh, is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think there was arts. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And there was like tchotchkes in there?
Yeah.
Was there like soap in there? I don't know. My brain hurts so
There
bad
was also
thinking.
like the Wonderstone.
Oh, Wonderstone.
No, the Wonderstone was different, but they
Okay.
also allowed us to do comedy there, which was great. One time I led a meditation where I just pretended everyone was crawling out of their mother's womb, so that was really nice. Thank you, Wonderstone. Bring me back for that. I would
Oh, I
love
think
to do
you
that.
put me on that show.
Were you on that show?
Yeah, I think
That
you
was a
put
good
me on
one.
that.
Yeah.
Memories.
Yeah, Armand. Would you pick up a wooden nickel if it was on a donut?
Joey, that's for you.
Short answer is no.
What's the long answer?
The long answer is basically because now the whole donut's contaminated. So now it's like you can't even eat it. Like you gotta incinerate that donut now. You can't just throw it in the garbage. It's a
You can't just eat around the
biohazard.
hole.
You can torch the nickel first.
We got Dan still watching. He said, "Oh my God, that made my day. I cannot wait to hang out with y'all."
Oh, miss you, buddy. Can't wait to see you.
And then I have a last question: is so what does the B stand for? Who won the contest? What's our
Yeah, that's for you to
You're
decide,
the best
sir.
judge.
Honestly,
I mean, if you all have different answers.
my favorite one, it's gonna be a toss-up. Actually, it's gonna go to Frank. I'm pretty sure he said Burlington Throat Factory.
All right, so we got Joey Burlington Throat Factory Donuts.
I'll say honorable mention though to Summer for saying "wop" with the silent B because that was creative. That was creative. So I'll give you that. The honorable mention.
We got any other opinions or?
I think that's about it, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I made opinions about.
Oh, yeah.
The B. We got any B favorites? No.
All right, so I'll shout everything out here, and then I'll let you guys get your plugs in because I'm sure you guys have some shows coming up. So let me put up the flyer on the screen. Here we go. So NEPA Scene is hosting Helping Hopple, a benefit show for local comedian Dan Hopple, who's fighting kidney disease, at Voodoo Brewing Company in Scranton on Sunday, May 31st from 4 to 8, with over 10 comedians and live music from Duds, Ives, and Squid Sterling, plus basket raffles and a $15 pasta dinner, which is optional if you'd like that. Tickets are $10 at the door for all this entertainment, which includes comedy from Russell Austin, John Bubble, Joey B. Donuts, Elliot, Ryan P. Flattery, Billy Crace, Ryan Manzo, Trisha Marie, Angelia Petrillo, and Sean Wheeler. Also, I will put this information up on the screen for anybody as well. If you can't make it and you'd still like to donate, you can donate to Dan directly via PayPal or Venmo or Cash App, and there's the information there. So if you'd like to do that, you can do that directly. We're taking none of the proceeds from this. Everything is going to Dan. Anything that we make on this, Voodoo has agreed to donate the same. And if we sell any merchandise, so I'll bring the usual NEPA Scene merchandise, our T-shirts, our hats, our stickers, buttons, all that kind of stuff. Half of anything will be donated directly to Dan, and that's only just because we got to pay for the stuff that we had printed. But otherwise, everything else goes to Dan. So Make sure you also come with some extra money to buy some tickets for basket raffles, because we have some really cool stuff that was donated by some really great local friends and businesses. So, any other things you guys want to mention? Any shout outs? Any plugs that you want to make coming up? Now's your chance.
All right, should we go down the line?
Yeah.
So I will be at Helping Hopple on Sunday. I will be hosting Pride Month trivia at the Burnt Norton with Trixie Valentine on Thursday, June 3rd. Also next Saturday to kick off Pride, I have a Madeline Murphy who's coming to the Burnt Norton to headline. She has a special with Comedy Dynamics that is coming out on Amazon and Apple TV on June 9th. And so tickets are $20. But of course, if you can pay less, hit me up. I'll get you hooked up with some tickets. And June 13th, I will be at Montage Mountain for NEPA Yoga Fest performing comedy. June 20th, I'll be at the Big A Story Slam. And TBD. Hopefully not rotting in a hole after that.
So Saturday, you could watch me on the Pocono Travel Network. You could download that on your TV apps and watch it for free. And you could hear me talk about aliens and Jim Thorpe. And June 12th, I'll be in Saylorsburg. I forget where that is. So hit me up. Follow my social media. I'll be posting shows. If you don't know how to find me, just Google Russell Austin Comedy. And a bunch of my bullshit comes up.
All right, so for me, on Sunday the 31st, I'll obviously be at Voodoo Brewing for the Helping Hopple benefit show. Then on June 20th, I'm going to be at Queen City Tavern in Oliphant for their comedy showcase there. That's a free show. There's no charge to get in. There's a lot of great comedians on that lineup. And then on Sunday, June 28th, I'll be at 279 Bar and Grill in Wilkes-Barre for their comedy showcase. Again, it's another free show.
Those are fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. There's a limited open mic after the show. So if you wanted to come up and like do a quick little set, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, I'll be at NEPA Comedy Fest in October, all 3 days. And yeah, and you could also find me dressed as a banana. My socials, Joey Donuts Comedy on Instagram and TikTok. The banana interviews are solely on Instagram. You won't find them on TikTok. And yeah, I pretty much go to a lot of mics and go to McDonald's and stuff. So yeah, and that's about it for me.
Also, one last thing. Open mic at the Burnt Norton third Thursday of every month at 6 p.m.
Yeah. All right.
We're doing pre-orders for the new NPA scene shirt?
Yeah, pretty soon. Probably in the next week or two. We'll start some pre-orders for those as well. So we have a new design coming out. So you'll be able to purchase one of those, and that also helps us continue to do everything that we're doing here, as well as the open mics and all the other content. We also secretly soft launched the new website, by the way. So if you go to nepascene.com now, you can see we're still kind of tinkering a little bit with it, but it's pretty much done. I think after over a decade, we needed to update our fucking website. So we definitely did that, and it looks really good now. And I think everything loads a lot faster, looks a lot cooler, especially the desktop version, but mobile version also runs really good. And we added that weird little feature where it will, at the top of the article, if you want it read to you by a weird AI voice, that is now part of the site. So a weird AI voice will read it to you.
That'd be good for work.
I love that. I love when it calls me by my name. It's like, hello, Eng.
Well, I was figuring out what features we wanted to add and stuff, and I noticed the one from the Scranton Times, for example, it will read it to you, but it'll play like a big ad in front of it and stuff first. So I'm like, well, okay, so ours is there's no ad or anything on it, but we're using the free version of this WordPress plugin that will read it to you. So if you pay for the full version, it'll add a bunch of extra features. So the one feature that it was like, we'll let you have one, but if you want more, you have to pay for it, was tell us how to pronounce a specific word.
Okay.
Like if you use a weird sort of word or abbreviation or whatever, it will correct it. And I was like, all right, well, let's say
NEPA?
NEPA,
Yeah.
right? So because everybody wants to say NEPA, and that's not
NEPA.
NEPA, whatever you
Got
want to
it.
say. But I've always pronounced it NEPA, so it's NEPA scene. So I was like, well, okay, just please every time you see NEPA, please just call it NEPA. And it does. It corrected it right away, and it figured that out. But every other word, it's all.
Oh, I can't wait to listen to
So
it.
who knows how it'll pronounce people's names or whatever else. But yeah, so that feature's there if you want it.
Cheers for accessibility.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did and you haven't already, like, comment, share, all that good algorithm stuff so that we can reach more people and hopefully get a ton of people to come out this Sunday, May 31st at Voodoo Brewing in Scranton from 4 to 8. We're going to have live music, stand-up comedy. It's going to be a really good time. And thank you again also to Voodoo for giving us the Crick Crushers. These were really good. You guys
those
like these?
those were good.
So I am an IPA only gal.
Oh, yeah?
Pretty much, and the flavor in this golden ale was very good.
Yeah, it had
very
nice-
palatable. Like would drink again. 100%. Very good. Yeah.
Yep, I just Jen was very kind and was like, grab a couple for the show. So also shout out to Jen.
Thanks,
Yeah, Jen.
'Cause,
Miss you, love you.
as soon as we Tanya and my wife talked about doing this benefit, she immediately reached out and was like, I'd love to offer Voodoo to you
Yeah.
and make sure that we make this happen. So thanks so much, Jen, for everything that you're doing. And putting the pasta dinners together, which is really cool too. So there'll be some food because technically Voodoo Brewing closes at like 3 on Sundays typically.
Oh, okay.
So we're staying open. We're basically keeping them there extra
Okay.
late to do this till 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So as such, they're not gonna have the full kitchen staff or everything there, but you want to have something for people to eat if they want to eat, and obviously there'll be plenty of drinks. So support the venue as well and grab some of those. And thanks again for tuning in. We will see you next Wednesday for another NEPA Scene podcast. And have a good night, everybody.
Don't pick up any wooden nickels.
Yes.
And I took off Monday just so I could hang out late on Sunday. So I want to see all my friends come out.
I will.
We're gonna hang out.
We'll me and Joey and whoever else will be stumbling into Monday at Union Vapors, which we're still doing.